Hey guys, what's going on? FYM upon here, and welcome back to Pathfinder Kingmaker. Since we last left off, we, if I do recall correctly, managed to liberate Pitax from King Iraveti. And we managed to do so with brutal efficiency. It took no less than a week to completely destroy his reign, and managed to claim his territory with much less time than that. But yeah, we managed to do quite a bit of claiming on our end, and I do say that I'm quite satisfied with the results. For this stream, before we do anything else, we are going to be wrapping up loose ends like quest lines such as the thing from Jathal's quests. We are also going to resolve things from Octavia's standpoint, and hopefully we'll wrap up everything that we need to do before we explore the rest of the map fully. So, without further ado, let's just get into things and see what happens, because we got quite a bit to do. At least I do believe. Alright. Okay, alright. Now, if I do recall correctly, we're basically just... we're basically on the precipice. We just basically finished everything that we could do here. And, yeah. Let's see. Yeah, we got a lot of stuff that we're gonna have to sell, so... yeah. We've got a lot we gotta do. But, hey, that'll come in due time. Shouldn't take too long for us to do. Alright, if we collect all... okay, we can't get everything, but... actually, now that I think about it, why wait here when I can actually sell it in Iraveti's town? Yeah, what am I waiting for? I could do it the other way around, couldn't I? Where's the other option? Yeah, it's gonna take some time, but I think this is for the best if we do it like this. It sucks, but we don't have much of a choice. We're heavyweight. And yeah, while we do have as many buffs as we feasibly can, you can only get so far with it. I guess while they're walking... oh no, you can't... I can't do anything unless I keep it untabbed. Okay. So the plans for today. If I do recall correctly in my journal, there is a few quests that we want to get done. The first quest is proportionally... what was it? I don't recall, to be honest. I think... alright, well, we got a quest from the pirates. That is an obvious thing. Then we have a few other quests that we gotta do. Namely, we've got... Octavia's thing, obviously. And anything else that I can recall? Not really. Well, first let's drop all these shields for now, because they are the weightiest of the bunch. And we'll go from there. Kinda wish it stacked like in Wrath of the Righteous, which would make dropping a lot easier on our part. But it's fine. We'll live. Okay, let's drop the full plates now. And now go from there. Alright, 54. Drop the breastplates now. Alright, now we gotta drop the chain shirts. Unless we want to go through the effort of dropping the heavy plate first, which I'm gonna do. It'll be at least a little faster for us, so we don't have to just wait here forever. Alright, we're now at heavy load. And now we can go.
In due time.
Alright, we'll leave it for now. We need to go to the port, because we can talk with this merchant here. Show me your wares. We're going to sell all the mundane stuff here. So 1 second while I spam click. Alright, that's one set. And then we get the other set here. Alright, with that, we can now move to the chain shirts and the +1 full plates. We will keep away from the bombardier vests in favor... Well, I guess I can keep the full plates, it's fine. Alright, and I think that's the majority of things. Deal. Alright, let us collect all before we talk with the merchant again. Show me your wares. And I just do believe it's the mundane stuff here. Alright, cool. That is a lot of stuff that we managed to just pawn off. Kind of surprised we managed to get so much. But hey, I'm not complaining. It means we've got a lot of leeway in our items. Although, we will need to figure out what we're going to do with the rest of the items, I think. Honestly, I am probably just going to give these out to whoever I have in my council, instead of just throwing everything away. I think it's for the best, and it's probably going to matter later on. So I should probably keep that in mind. Okay, anything else before I go? Not really. Alright. We should be good then. To my knowledge, anyways. Yeah, braces of armor is okay. Alkaline gloves, gloves of scribe. 10 competence bonus to all knowledge, arcana, and world checks, as well as a +4 cast level on dispel magic attempts. Well, we do need a bonus to arcana and knowledge world, I do believe. So, who is the best for that? Alright, let's see. Thompson is the best choice, it seems. So, let us go into his inventory and see what we got. Alright. +2, +3. He's currently got gloves of elven kind, which is pretty alright, but we can give him the gloves of the scribe, which will help him boost his mental acuity in those other skills. And if I'm not mistaken, jeez, that's a lot. Yeah, his knowledge, arcana, and world are just crazy now. And because of his wisdom, it basically balances out somewhat. In pure balance, as all things should be. Well, that's nice. Okay. Alright, well, the gloves of the scribe are really good for him then. As for rings, I guess we go with the ring of protection +5. We don't necessarily need to, but it's just good, so it doesn't hurt to get. Belt of physical form. If we can get a +6 at some point, that would be nice, but I'm not holding out hope. As for headband, he's perfectly fine, unless we want to go through the effort of replacing the robe of the true master. Which, honestly, I don't think is a good idea. Because the Dark Master robes only cover intelligence and charisma, which is a +8, mind you. It also gives a +5 concentration and +10 to all knowledge arcana, which is a competence bonus, but we get that from the Gloves of the Scribe anyway. So all the more reason not to use it. If Steven wasn't using the Enforcer robe, he would definitely be a good candidate for the Dark Master robe. Because that's basically a +4 AC, just on its own. Mind you, the crown gives the bonus, so it would be a stacking bonus problem, which is the annoying part. But yeah, other than that, we're fine. Okay, this robe grants the wearer +10 armor enchantment bonus to perception. And the effects of uncanny dodge feat. It also inflicts -4 penalty to saving throws. Yeah, it basically just gives 10 to perception. That's all it does. I mean, the +10 to perception is nice, and all, but it could be better. The robes are best used on somebody who actually relies on perception and who doesn't use armor. So not the best choice for a group like Senator Armstrong and a lot. Mistral's medium armor. Singing steel breastplates. Alright. You pale light tones when struck. Living steel is treated as one category lighter. Heavy armor is treated medium. Medium is light. Let's see. The wielder or wearer can strike the singing steel as part of the beginning of a bardic performance. If the wielder can normally start bardic performance as a standard action, he can do so as a move action instead. If the wielder can do so as a move action, he can do so as a swift action. Alright. Interesting. So it basically makes it so you can trigger the bardic performance faster. Which is alright. Not the best out there, but hey. You get what you can get. Alright. Well, we can go with the deflection bonus to AC, because we don't technically need that. It does give us spell resistance. We get +4 to saving throws, which is better than Shroud of Abaddon. And a +2 to spell pen, which we don't use a lot with Compson. I think we can get away with armor. But yeah, no, he doesn't use armor as often. Although, he is lawful neutral, so he actually applies for the Arbiter robes. +3 dodge bonus to AC, and a +3 bonus to unarmed strike damage. The dodge bonus to AC is pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. Do I go for it, though? Well, it's not like I'm using the Robe of the True Master, to be honest. It's a +5 to AC, but we already get that from a ring. Technically, we don't need it, even. I guess we'll go with the Arbiter until I can think of something else. Because he is lawful neutral, and that isn't going to change, I do believe. So yeah, we'll stick with that. And I guess we go price in descending order for whatever is here. Or actually, type in descending order, actually. So that way we can decide on what we got here. Alright, we're probably going to get the Cloak of Resistance +5. Then we got Cloaks of Resistance +4 going. Alright. Actually, I'm probably going to give +4 to Compson. That way, Mistral can get the +5. Samuel's already got +4, but he's got a special one, Cloak of the Bear. Alright, Monsoon, we're going to give a +4 cloak. Alright, type in descending order, as usual. Alright, we've got Maya's Charm, which nobody can use. Headband of Vast Intelligence, which we don't use. Headband of Mental Perfection, no. Alluring Charisma, nah. Let's see. Range from death from afar is already set in stone. Physical form's already set. We got another ring of protection +5. We'll throw that on to Monsoon. Alright, who uses what? Yeah, no. We don't need to use the other rings because we got things like Ring of Law, Ring of Luck, that sort of thing. Yeah, the immunity to confusion and fear is pretty nice. What else we got? We've got the Ring of the Beast King, which we don't need. We've got the Ring of the Luck, yeah. Okay, I think we're good. We're also not going to be using the natural armor, so while it does suck, yeah. I would love to use items for our wolf here, but I don't think we're going to get that far. But yeah, I think that's everybody set up for the most part. Because we use buffs anyway, so we're basically good. How's our weight looking? We've got medium load currently. Alright. Well, I think that's a good time to leave then. Let's exit. Let's get out of here and do this.
Iravetti was dead, and good riddance. Our ruler added the crown of Pitax to the crown of the Stolen Lands. But behind the dead monarch loomed the shadow of a much more dangerous foe.
Indeed. And that's not a good thing, per se. Alright, before we do absolutely anything, I think it's high time we either go to the middle of nowhere to resolve the Pitaxian quest, or we go back and we go to get Octavia for Pitax. Either way, we'll figure something out, I'm sure. Alright, well, I'm probably going to go to... Well, actually, let's load up. I think that might be for the best, actually. That way we can see what that edict is, at the very least.
Iravetti was dead.
Alright, we're done that. We're going to go up here, and we're going to follow this pathway. And figure out what's going on first. Alright, pause. And what is going on here? Alright, weak Pitaxian influence has been succeeded. Alright, we can strengthen the curator's skills. We've got training that we can do. Not that we need to anyways. We'll get Harem on the research for Armog's concerns. We've got divine protection from fear as well as an option. And we can start upgrading our land if we so desire, but that is going to be something we wait for, because I'd like to get claims on land first before I do anything of that sort. Alright, because I am now here already, I'm going to head back from Gnarlkeep. And before I actually go anywhere, I'm going to check our edicts real quick. Alright, projects. In 7 days, we will be able to track this Throne Thief, which will allow us to deal with her quest line, which shouldn't be too hard an issue. Alright, from here, I guess we go back to... where is it? Tuskdale. There we go. We will swap in... Sundowner for Octavia. Let's see, what else can we do? I guess... oh, we're already level 10 Arcane Trickster. Alright, that means we got freedom to do whatever we want, really. I think it's in our best interest to go Eldritch Knight now. So that way we get some diverse training from this. He adds his levels to any levels of fighter he might have for the purpose of meeting prerequisites for feats. If he has no fighter level feats, treat his Eldritch Knight levels as levels of fighter. He also adds his level to any levels in arcane spellcasting for the purpose of meeting the prerequisites for the feat. Interesting. Let's see. She can't spontaneously cast first level spells, which does suck, but that is par for the course. Dragon Disciple is not an option. I guess we just keep spamming Wizard? Or do we go somewhere else? Mystic Theurge, we would need Divine Casting, so that is not an option. Yeah, I think it's just increase Wizard until it's done. Eldritch Knight is really good for, like... Well, actually, I guess I could go Eldritch Knight. What am I doing? Even though I'm only getting fighter level feats, this is full BAB scaling, if I'm not mistaken. We won't get the benefits of Wizard spells, but I think that's a small price to pay, considering we can go at least up to level 5 in this, I do believe. Yeah, we'll get a feat from first level. We'll get arcane spell casting, so we'll get 4 levels out of 2 levels, and yeah, no, the scaling is going to be the same anyways. We just get a difference in fighter feats, essentially. Although at that point I might as well go, well... No, I'll go Eldritch Knight because she benefits more from attacks anyways. Because she is an arcane trickster after all. Alright, let's go with the boost to intelligence, obviously. This will be our 16th casting stat, so gotta keep that in mind. Alright, let us boost Lore Nature now. Improved critical. Let's see. Weapon focus ray, improved critical ray, I suppose. Alright. Alright, and then we go with another level of Eldritch Knight for spellcasting purposes. Pop a point in there, pop a point into UMD. There we go. Let's see, we've got martial weapon proficiency, metamagic maximize. I guess we can get some metamagic while we're at it. Let's get metamagic empower, and we'll focus in wizard for scaling. This will allow us some buffs, which will probably grab Firebrand for this. It's a good staple. Well, I guess Firebrand's okay. It's 1 round a level though. But it does deal 1d6 fire damage, and it makes you immune to fire, I believe. While the Firebrand burns, any creature marked is immune to damage from any fire spells you cast. All the target's weapons, both natural and manufactured, inflict 1d6 additional points of fire damage. It stacks with any amount of fire damage any creature might be already inflicting. At any point during a spell, creature can fire beams of fire. Okay, yeah, no, so all the more reason to do it. This spell transformed an allied creature into a large simoleon, shambling bound, elemental... Okay. Let us go with Polymorph Greater. It's 1 friendly target after all. Alright, and with that, I guess we teleport back to South Gnarl Marshes, which is Gnarl Keep. And now we go back to Pitax to meet Octavia's mother. And done is done for our quests. Alright, we enter, we go to the Lonely Mansion, and let's see what's going on. Shouldn't be that hard. Alright. Our speed's a bit slow, but that's fine. That's fine. Alright, in we go.
What is it? I wasn't expecting guests.
A woman comes out of the back room in a dress that was once expensive but now moth-eaten and heavily mended. Her posture and gait give away a noble upbringing. She seems to be in her 40s, though some pain and suffering must have worn her beyond her years, leaving wrinkles across her face and grey in her hair.
I am Marinus Claudia della Fiondi. Welcome to my manor. I'm afraid I have nothing to offer you, nor do I have the honor of knowing you. To what do I owe the pleasure? Hello, Mother. Octavia? Gods, my Octavia, is that really you? It's been so many years.
The Marchioness steps forward to hug her daughter, tears in her eyes, but she stops when she sees Octavia's stony gaze.
You're Octavia? You're? My last memory of you is selling me to the slave traders, and you dare to call me yours? Cruel words, but fair. Fair. Octavia, my child, let me tell you what happened. Afterwards, you may decide what to do. Even if it means you never wish to see me again, all I need to be happy is to know you're safe and sound.
Alright, well, who was Octavia's father?
A pathetic wretch, and nothing more. A visiting elf swept a silly young girl off her feet, then vanished as soon as he learned she was expecting. I care not to even say his name.
Alright, how did Octavia become a slave then?
My father, rest his soul in peace, was a very stern man. Some would say cruel.
One sec.
When he found out I was expecting a child of some adventurer, he expelled me from the house and cut me off from any inheritance. I scraped off on my own for 3 years, sewing, teaching, and the like. But then Father discovered he was dying, and the Della Fioni line would end. So he told me he would leave his full inheritance to me, if I would only get rid of my disgrace to get rid of you. And so you did. Traded me for an inheritance, I see. No, it wasn't like that at all. I had a plan to deceive him, you know? I made arrangements with a man from the Technic League. He was supposed to take you back to Numeria, keep you there until my father died, and then bring you back. I wasn't trying to do what I thought was best for you. Do you understand? Or I was trying to do what I thought was best for you. I wanted you to grow up in your own manner, in luxury rather than poverty. But once Father was gone, the man from the Technic League said he didn't remember any such arrangements. He said he bought you, he had already sold you, and had no idea where you were anymore.
Why didn't you buy her back?
I had no idea where she was. Octavia, believe me, I continued to look for you all these years. I spent all the inheritance hiring sleuths and investigators to scour Numeria and the River Kingdom for you. But you were nowhere to be found. The Marinus... The Marinus wipes tears from her eyes. I knew you were still alive. I could feel it. I never stopped searching. I just wanted to see you again, just once. To at least beg for forgiveness. What do you say, Octavia? What is there to say? Oh, Mother, you're such a fool. Octavia sobs. You think we wouldn't have done fine without a title? I'd have grown up, learned some craft. We'd have been poor, probably, but at least we've been together. Now, Marcianus and Octavia hold each other tight. Will you stay, at least for a little while? There's so much to talk about. Isn't it dangerous for you here, though, with just a couple of servants? There's a lot of disquiet in Pitax right now, and trouble and all. Magical beasts, barbarians. I live in New America now. Have you heard of it? It's recently established. Maybe you can move there. I'll be able to tell you what I've been doing all this time, and show you all that I've achieved. New America, you say? As you say, my child. I'll begin packing immediately. Octavia hugs her mother again. I'll be waiting for you. Alright, it looks pretty nice, all things considering. Well then.
In due time.
Ah, we managed to unlock it somehow. Okay, cool. Unlock this. Yep, nothing there. No door can stop my hands.
I've broken a nail.
Did the servant really lock me in? Okay. If the servant... Yeah, no, if the servant locked me in, I was gonna be mad. Oh well. But yeah, that's Octavia's quest done, I believe? It should be done, anyways. And I am not going to complain. That is for certain. Alrighty then. Let's see. Talk to Octavia. Yep. That is basically her deal done. And then we need to go to reveal the destiny of somebody else. Otherwise, we are good to go. So we're going to return Octavia back to the capital, and we will go from there. At least that's the plan anyways. Alright, let's see. What quest do we got here? Or what other thing? Okay, choking hazard. Mercenary army is done. Alright, cult sacrifice problem. I guess we get Bartholomew on that. Then we got the Last Wall Cavalry, which is going to be done in IX. But we can deal with that later. We really need to just focus on getting Jathal through the Throne Thief issue first. Then we can handle all that jazz. For now, though,
I tire.
let us teleport back to Tussdale. Let us enter so we can talk with Octavia in the main square, I guess. And we'll wrap up that quest line and finally move on to something else. Hopefully by the end of well, hopefully how far we go really depends on what we do, but you know, we'll do what we can. At the very least, I hope if I can try to beat the quest line that we've got later on. Oh, what am I talking about? I don't know. Octavia stands beneath the tree, looking once again at the Fibulia with Della Fione's coat of arms. Well then, no more mysteries. I know who I am now. Octavia gently pins the fibula to her clothes. Hereditary Marchioness della Fioni. Beautiful words for someone called Hey You as her childhood, aren't they? Now, Your Highness, please address me solely as Your Excellency from now on. Octavia trying to maintain a solemn expression, but less than a few seconds pass before she breaks into laughter. Kidding. I'm kidding, of course. In all seriousness, I'm just happy to know my mother didn't betray me. This is all just a mistake. A terribly idiotic mistake. But still fixable. Now I have a family apart from our own insane team. Of course, you, Reg, Lindsay. I wouldn't leave you for the world. I'm glad she found it in her heart to forgive you. Your mother. I didn't think I could really do it. But I'm glad I won't have to carry this hatred with me for the rest of my life. I let it go just as I let Jonas go before. And I don't regret it. Well, Your Highness, what's next? You have the entirety of the Grand Della Fioni family as your loyal vassals. Whatever you have planned, I'm with you till the end. And to the end we go, I guess, yeah. But that is the Highborn Heart quest done. Nice. Alright, Hassuf, I'd like to sell some stuff. Let us go price in descending order, naturally. We'll start with the Bombardier Vests. And go from there. Alright, got full plate +2, mithril chainstart +2, stud leather +3. We'll keep the rest because they're high importance targets. +2 corrosive short sword. No, we'll keep those. Swift injustice. Alright, deadly grace we're probably gonna sell, I'm thinking. Oh, deadly grace. Acid. Okay, interesting. Alright, Dark Wind is stealth. Dragon Slayer is +5, so anything beyond that is probably going to be fantastic. So, do we sell Dark Wind and everything else? I say we do. Okay. There we go. Sovereign, we can handle later. Alright, price in descending order. What do we got? We've got Sash of Slash. Interesting. And we got +6 items now. Let's see. Okay, Lindsay is a +4 headband of Allure and Charisma. We should probably get some upgrades, I think, if we can. Ragongar's Strength, which he's already got. Lindsay, we need Charisma. I guess technically we do have the Darkmaster robes, so that helps Intelligence and Charisma. So I think that's something we give to Tristan. No, he uses Wisdom, doesn't he? Yeah, he uses Wisdom. Miri's fine. She's a Strength build, but it's a +4 Strength currently. Harem uses a Wisdom as well. Knock Knock, Dexterity. Jathal requires Dexterity, if I'm not mistaken. Valerie does require Charisma, so I'm going to give her the Dark Robes, I think. Strictly for the sake of taking off this, so we can get Darkmaster Robes instead. Although, actually, at that point, I might as well just give her the, yeah, if I give her the headband +6, then I can give Lindsay the +8. But this, she used a +8, though. No. Well, we'll just give the Darkmaster Robes to Valerie. Bugger it. As for Lindsay, she can price in descending order. We'll give her the headband of mental Nope, we give her the headband of lure and charisma. That is much better. Alright, Octavia. She's in the party right now, so we'll give Octavia the Della Fione crest, which is a +6 to charisma intelligence, and a +5 resistance to saving throws. We'll give that to her. And we take off the headband of Vast Int. And before we do continue, I'm going to take a small 5-minute break. I know it's a bit early in stream, but I just need to do stuff, so yeah. I'll see you guys in 5 minutes, and I will be back with you shortly, organizing team and getting upgrades to everybody for the near future. See you guys in 5.
Okay, I'm back. Now, if I do recall correctly, I was just organizing things and giving everybody buffers, essentially. Let's see. Because we have it, we're probably going to give Octavia the Belt of Physical Form, because she does rely on Dex a lot. What else? Lindsay, we'll give her the Belt of Physical Form as well. Rogongar we'll leave alone, as is Amiri. Although I guess I can give her the Belt of Physical Might. Although I'd prefer to give her a +6 Belt of Strength, if I can help it. It's fine. We'll give her the Belt of Physical Might. Rogongar is already built, set up. Okay. Tristan is more dex-based. But it looks like we're running out of stuff, so price and descending order, naturally. I guess we go with the Headband of Mental Perfection +6 for him. Yeah, that seems about right. And I guess we'll down the Headband of Natural Armor and Ring of Natural Armor. Same here. Alright, +3, +3. +3, +3. There we go. Alright, Lindsay. +3, +3, where? Oh, right, here we go. Alright, Octavia, we can't give her the neck piece, so that does suck, but we can give her the ring, so there we go. Alright, that leaves Jubilist. We can't give him a ring, but we can definitely see about giving the ring to Harem. And his natural armor bonus, there we go. Price in descending order, naturally. If we have a wisdom buff, I would use it, but judgmental gaze is limited. But I guess we can give him the +2, or +4 to all or all mentals at least. So there is that. Alright, Headband of Luring Charisma we'll hold off on. I guess we go with the +2s now. Alright, +2 Amulet of Natural Armor, +2, there we go. Alright, Valerie, +2 is already on there. We don't have the amulet for neck piece, it seems, which does suck, but she does have +1 already. Akundayo is fine, as is Kalgliki. Alright. I think at this point we can level up people. To a degree. Alright, we level up Kineticist naturally. 14. Okay. Cold adaptation. I guess Kinetic Restoration is to go too. Alright. Alright, Kineticist. More Stealth and Athletics. Alright, we need focus shots mainly. Improve precise shots. Range attacks ignore mischance. Good. And we've got 3 choices of abilities. I'm gonna go with, I guess, air? That'll give her thunder, I suppose. So we'll go with electric blast, I suppose. Or do we go with air? Which will allow us air blast, air kinetic blade. No, we'll go electric. So that way we have electricity going for us. Okay, from here we will just boost up dexterity again. And stats naturally. Aerial adaptation is okay. Cold adaptation. No. Expanded defense. Enveloping winds? No. Well, actually, no. It's actually pretty good. Compared to Shroud of Water. Enveloping winds gives ranged attack defenses. Kinetic bonus feats, I guess. We'll grab dodge. That's naturally just a natural good choice. And now we level up to 17. And bada bing bada boom. Okay, what do we grab? We've got improved precise shot. We've got other stuff, I'm sure. We want to focus on the heavy hitting abilities. Well, heavy hitting mainly. Actually, that's a good question. Does Vital Strike work with kinetic blasts? I need to check that. Let's see. Okay. So I had a quick Google search. I was wondering if I could use Kinetic Blade to circumvent this rule, but no. Vital Strike, unfortunately, does not work with any Kinetic Blast. So, you won't be able to get around that, that easily, it seems. So, yeah. It's a shame, but that's just how it be. You can't really do much about creative thinking on their part. The game devs, I would assume, yeah. Okay. Could I get power attack, though? That's a good question. Oh, no, wait, we can get sickening critical, though. Can we get the other critical focus, though? Let's see, let's show unavailable. We're looking for critical focus. Here we go. Critical mastery. Fighter level 14. Criticals. Crushing blow. No. Alright, where's critical focus? Oh, wait, we need, not sickening, but we need staggering strike. Let's see. Slashing Grace, Staggering Critical. Here we go. We need a BAB of 15 if we want to get that. How is her BAB currently? Alright, her base attack bonus is currently 12. So she won't be able to get it now, but she could probably get it at level 18 or 19. One of the two, it seems like. So that's good to note. So we won't be able to get it now, but we're close, is the thing. As for now, the best course of action is to hammer the gap, maybe? No, that wouldn't work. Clustered shots is also a no-go. Combat mobility, no. Coordinative, no. I wish I could do more in this circumstance, but I don't think I can. Well, I guess the best point is toughness. It's just a simple option. Blade Whirlwind, no. Well, I don't even know why I'm thinking too hard. I'll just go Fragmentation and just go for it. I'm thinking way too hard on a build that is not going to be relevant until later on in the game. Really, I should be focusing on Inkundayo, because there is going to be a specific circumstance that he's going to be involved in. Alright, let's prepare everything. Lore Nature, I guess we can bring that up to 10. Alright. Let's see, we've got... I guess we could get Deadly Aim. It would reduce the need for... Well, no, it would increase the damage. Hammering the gap, eh. Critical focus, obviously. Let's see. First world forest. Let's go with... Well, we're not going to be going to cities anytime soon, so I think it's in our best interest to go with plains, I guess. That'll be our next focus. Alright, Ranger 14. Boost up the stats, naturally. I guess we will boost up Knowledge Arcana. Alright, skill focus or archery? We're going to go archery for point blank master, it seems. We could probably also get improved critical as well. Alright. Okay, we don't actually have a weapon selected though, it seems. Choose one type of ranged weapon. You do not provoke staff of opportunity when firing the selected weapon while threatened. Alternatively, I get improved critical. I'm just gonna go with the longbow, naturally. Alright, point blank master. We definitely go longbow. And there we go. I guess we're focusing longbow for ranger. For our ranger, I forget his name. It's, yeah, no, it's been a while. Okay, let's see if we can get, the crippling critical. Staggering critical, I believe it is. Sickening critical, staggering critical, here we go. Alright, let's see. What is our current focus? We got focus into giant humanoids. We got focus into more giant humanoids. I think it's high time we focus on the Fae. Oh, we already got Fae focus, actually. Never mind. In that case, I guess the next best focus for us is actually plants. Or animals. We'll go plants. Plants seems more reasonable. And we're going to focus into Fae, preferably. Yeah, we need Fae more than anything. Okay. Alright, let's level up Ranger once again. And I guess we're leveling up Dexterity, strictly. We'll boost up those, boost up Perception. And let's boost up Knowledge World to 5. Alright, that brings it to 16, and finally 17. And there we go. Done is done. Alright, what do we got? I guess we can get improved critical. Or where is that critical feats? Let's see. Well, I guess we grab Outflank, actually. Outflank will give a +4 to attack rolls, which overall is just going to be better. Jaethal, we'll just level her up as well while we're at it. Not that we need to, but it doesn't hurt. Okay, let us level up Religion to 20, I guess. Okay, from here, we can get Weapon Finesse. And I guess we go with Allied Spellcaster or Shield Spellcaster. I guess Allied Spellcaster. As for her abilities, Naturally True Seeing is a good choice, so there we go. Inquisitor 16. Just 5 in Lore Nature, get a Dex buff. Inflict critical wounds, harm, and... Oh wait, what am I doing? Well, we'll keep the harm and heal, but we're going to change inflict critical wounds to something else. We will change it to Crusader's Edge. That will give us a buffer to attacks in the near future. Well, actually, do we want it? Let's grab Freedom Movement. That's a bit better.
Alright, 17 Inquisitor. 20 in Lore Nature. There we go. What else we got? We've got Critical Focus. Let's get... We don't need Improved Critical. We need the Staggering Critical, which we cannot grab. So I guess it is indeed the Improved Critical. What weapon do we go for, though? Let's see. Weapon Finesse... Anything that's finessable. I guess a short sword, because we do have the weapon of a short sword. Let's close the interface for now, in favor of giving Jaethal the specific weapon. Let's see. She cannot wield short swords. RIP. Although she can get the Sovereign, so I guess that is going to be her weapon. We'll give her the Sovereign. Oh, but it's not finessable, so let's take that off. Price in Descending Order. +5 Unholy. Let's see. Okay, this will give a 21. Preferably want finesse wielding weapon. Alright, Masterwork. Dragon Bane. Enchantment 3. Prehistoric Tooth is finesse wielding. So I guess we're going with the Prehistoric Tooth. An interesting choice, indeed, but it's not like we got much of a choice, so... To the end, I guess we're going with Punching Dagger. Alright, that's her weapon. She is going to be a Punching Dagger wielder. YOLO. Not weapon focus. Well, I guess we could just go for an armor focus. That's naturally a good choice. Armor focus, nah. What do we got? Improved critical? Yep, let's go improved critical dagger. Boom. Off we go. Grab C Invisibility Communal and a 6th level spell of, let's go, Overwhelming Presence, naturally. Done. Okay, that's her done. We will need to level up Valerie to at least 16. Okay, there we go. Okay, for her, we've already got heavy armor focus, so let us go with... let's go staggering critical, if we can get it. Unless... Oh, we've already actually got staggering critical. Okay, we don't need that then. We can actually go with power attack, strictly because I know a special ability that we can grab. Alright, let's get 16 in fighter. Let's level up charisma again. Keep boosting the points into persuasion, naturally. Now, if I'm not mistaken, Krungun Smash is... Yep, here we go. When you damage an opponent with a power attack, you may make an immediate Persuasion Intimidate check as a free action to attempt to demoralize an opponent. We're grabbing that immediately. There we go. That is our way of dealing with the issue. As for weapon focus, we don't need it. I guess technically we do, but it's fine. We'll grab combat expertise, because that is literally just good for us. And there we go. I actually do need to check on Steven's build, just to check to make sure he's getting... Yeah, he's got power attack, so he's going to be building up to Krungun Smash anyways. Okay, that's good to know. Okay, Key Strike Adamantine, Key Power Diamond Soul. Yeah, no. He's basically good. Alright, I guess
harem is the next one, but I'm getting ahead of myself. We got so much to do, so little time. What am I doing wasting it here? I said I was going to explore, wasn't I? So let's do that. Let's explore. Before that, I guess we can check how the tavern's doing. I've been meaning to do that anyways. But before I do, I guess we can check out here. Okay, nothing. Leave that alone. Okay, to the tavern. Alright. Alright, Alina. Okay. Avindra stares at you with big sad eyes, a light shawl wrapped around her shoulders. Greetings. What would you like to discuss? Tell me about yourself. What would you like to know? Tell me of your past. All of us, including Nyrissa and those you knew as the Defaced Sisters, are children of the First World. We used to be close like sisters, though Nyrissa always shone the brightest. Like the moon among a sea of stars, she was our leader long before she tried to become one of the eldest, though she was defeated and cursed in the process. We trusted her with our lives and followed her despite the danger. I like to think of this time before the curse as our youth. Though by mortal standards it would have seemed to last forever. We were bold, overconfident, and full of high hopes. We yearned to change the world, and we never knew true fear. The creatures of the First World are immortal, and thus careless. Nyrissa used to call me her grumpy cousin, because I was always questioning her plans. In all honesty, though, I would tease her and point out flaws in her plans. I always believed deep in my heart that she would succeed, and then we would laugh together over my pointless fears. If you could only imagine how much I missed those times. You've mentioned immortality several times. Can you not die? The souls of the First World creatures don't follow the same laws set by the gods for other living beings. If we die, we lose a significant part of our power, but we are born again with all of our memories, looking just the same as we did before. But this only works for deaths on our home plane. That is why my kin avoids traveling abroad. They fear the forever death that awaits them in the other worlds. But the stolen lands are sewn to the First World. With the threads of the bloom, it affected everything, even the life cycle. Those who die within the bloom, or in places like Candlemere, where the First World and Galarian are close as twins in my mother's womb, will return to our homeland and be resurrected there. This is why you find so many fey creatures in your kingdom. Curiosity drives them here. There is one more reason I've spoken about immortality. My poor sisters, the nymphs, shared the burden of the curse with Nyrissa. The curse tore them from their eternal cycle of the First World. Now they can really die, even in the First World. Sorry about that. Just like you and everyone else around them, I suppose the curse didn't impact me as heavily. Perhaps because I tried to dissuade Nyrissa from her plans as the outset, or perhaps because I tried to fight the evil that plan bestowed upon us. How do you like living in the city? It is hard. Nymphs, dryads, nereids, we're all children of nature. We have little fondness for structures built by humans. They're like stone anthills to us. But now is not the time to worry about comfort.
When the stone and noise around me become unbearable, I simply go to the lake. This Huskwater could use some care, and perhaps the settlers will treat the lake better if they know it has a patron. Within the city, Elena the innkeeper takes care of me. In return, I help her purify and enchant water for her drinks. It's so nice to have a friend again.
Thank you for the information.
As you wish.
Alright, I have questions about Nyrissa and her curse.
Ask what you will, I'll try to answer.
What did Nyrissa do in particular?
Answering that will require you to know a bit about the First World. The gods forsook the First World long ago, and they were replaced by the creatures we call the Eldest. The Lost Prince and Shyla the Many magged the Lantern King. There are so many of them, as diverse as they are immensely powerful. Nyrissa wished to become one of them, to gain the power to build her own realm. A stronghold of spring, creation, and love. And these are not just fancy words. In the First World, anyone with enough power can shape reality. Literally. To create, to fill with life, and to rally those who share her vision. That is what Nyrissa wanted. But the Eldest are jealous beings, and they do not tolerate changes to their power. They unleashed a monster against us, one of the Tane, the most fearsome servants of the Eldest. Nyrissa fought it, she lost. You know what happens next.
What exactly was the curse?
It deprived Nyrissa of her immortality. Even worse, it deprived her of part of her soul. The Eldest, they extracted her ability to love, turned it into an artifact, Briar. But the curse was not just a punishment, it was also a painful way to atone for her misconduct. Nyrissa was promised forgiveness when she helped to destroy 1,000 kingdoms. Each kingdom destroyed became a grain of dust dropped into the magic cup called the Apology. And as you are aware, the cup is almost full.
Golarion is huge, with many kingdoms. Why did Nyrissa focus on the Stolen Lands?
The Stolen Lands have always had a strong connection to the First World, though this is not the sole reason. Somewhere in these lands, the Eldest hid Briar as part of their curse. Evindra closes her eyes and in a sing-song recites, "Let your unrequited love guide you, as it guided you to your first king, so shall it again. So it shall again." Nyrissa was deprived of the very part of her essence that led to her bold plan in the first place. They took it from her, and for ages she's been seeking what she lost. It must be excruciating to feel the call of what was once inseparable part of you, and to be unable to find it.
What happens once Nyrissa collects her 1,000 grains?
Who can say? In my limited understanding, the Eldest are cold, distant alien beings. Nyrissa will bring them her filled cup, and then I can't even imagine. But I doubt it will end happily. What they did to her, the fate they brought upon 1,000 kingdoms, it all seemed unimaginably cruel. Whatever they have in mind, they must be yet crueler, I'm sure of it.
Do you believe Nyrissa spends thousands of years tormenting the Stolen Lands against her will?
Yes and no. The curse deprived her of her primal essence of her soul, her ability to love. I believe deeply that any mind, no matter how bright, will turn to evil if cut off from love. Nyrissa even began treating us, her closest friends and sworn sisters, as little more than living tools. Let's not even mention how she treated mortals. One whose heart knows no compassion is incapable of mercy.
What does Nyrissa want from me anyways?
The same thing she wanted from the successful aspirants who came before you, willingly or unwillingly. For centuries, she has sought out strong, ambitious, promising people within the Stolen Lands, helped them grow and build their own kingdoms, and then pitted them off against one another. This is what happened with Armagh, the proud barbarian chieftain. This is what happened to Iravetti, the cunning schemer. And then, this is what happened to you eventually. Okay, that's concerning. Why did you decide to help me? I cannot stand aside any longer. If there is even a small chance to save Nyrissa, I must find it. And if there is truly no hope, then I will do what I can to help atone for all the evil she has wrought. I know that Nyrissa, the Nyrissa from before, the Nyrissa I still remember and love, could not bear the thought of what she's become. What she has been forced to do. Even killing her would be more merciful than allowing her to remain a monster. I doubt Nyrissa would leave me be. Do you have any ideas what my next step should be? There is one thing. Find Briar, the artifact created from the stolen part of Nyrissa's soul. I know not what power it holds, but I'm sure. If anything can alter the sinister story we have all become characters in, it is Briar. Okay, good to know. So our objective for now is to try and find Briar. And hopefully, really hopefully, we'll figure something out. Alright, let's get going. As much as I'd like to stick around, I don't think that's going to help us any. So let's just gather our crew and off we go to adventure. We're going to have to wait 6 days anyway, so all the more reason to get exploring, because we've got jobs to do. Technically. Alright, before we do anything, let us see. Do we need to claim Pitax? Regions. Here we go. Royal Hunting Grounds. No. We do need to claim Pitax and the Tours of Lebanese. But issues like that is not a problem. I do believe. I just need to upgrade some things. I think I need to upgrade our statistics a little bit. Namely, I need to upgrade either Arcane, Stability... I'm not sure. I need to upgrade stuff. That's what I'm getting here. Alright, but I can't do anything else until that situation is resolved, so let us teleport to... I guess... No, we need to go to South Nora Marshes. And we are going to make our way to the Rill and Spill, I think? Wheel Day for Abydus 1. Okay, we've done that. So let us go to here and let's start exploring the area. Because we've got bigger fish to fry. Let's avoid the peaceful travelers, evade. Ignore the fatigue status. Go from there. Okay, we're gonna go to the middle of nowhere. Over here. Okay, why did we go the awkward way? Whatever, I guess. Alright, to the middle of nowhere. Off we go. Alright, before we do rest, I'm going to open up my spellbook. Because I had planned on resting, I just haven't had the chance to do so. Alright, let's see what we got spell-wise. We got quite a bit going. Let's get another casting of the Salamander for healing purposes. We've already got a Dispel Magic, so we don't need that. Do we need Tarpool? No. But we'll definitely grab Phantasmal Web, because it's a good utility spell, I think. Alternatively, I could get Icy Prison for a single target. Let's grab 2 Phantasmal's Web and 1 Icy Prison. And now let's camp.
I think that's good. Alright, let's manage our compatriots. Alright, who's going where? I guess Steven goes here. Let's see, we've got hunting. Cooking goes here. Camp camouflage here. The next best cooker is Mistral. We'll get Sundowner on watch duty, and we'll get Monsoon assisting Sundowner. Alright, we can't get fish on a stick, so what's the next best thing? Not seasoned wings. We need... I guess the cheese crostata is a pretty good one. It goes for 6 hours instead. What else we got? First world mince pie, hearty soup, mastodon steak, kamaberry pie, no. Monster casserole, baked spider legs. Nope, we're gonna go with the cheese crostata. We'll use rations, so we're covering our bases. Do we want to replace a Mistral and... Let's see, who's better at cooking? Let's see. Yeah, Monsoon is oddly a good cook for 15, but no, it's not enough to warrant change. Alright, we'll go with that. Time for the cheese crostata. We managed to get 1 ration, camp camouflage successful, and we got an excellent cheese crostata. We're gonna need more rations though, it seems. So here's what we're probably gonna do. We're going to gather up our things as soon as we can. Once we're done with this area... Oh, a body with a piece of sky metal. Concerning, but fine. Alright, what about here? Oh, that's a dryad token. Good. Ah, a magical door. From here, is there anything else that we missed? Not really. There appears... Yep, there's the campsite. Okay, we just go to the door, I suppose. Before we do anything else, I'm gonna probably do a save. Alright, that is a save from us, and let's go. A solid door blocks your entrance. The owner clearly doesn't care for uninvited guests. The door literally shines with dozens of magical auras. It's impossible to see any pattern in this mess. It seems like the spells were thrown on the door occasionally, and chaotically, rather than created in elaborate order. I guess we can pick the lock. The simple lock didn't stand a chance. The door quietly swings open. And we got some experience because of it. Nice. I'm not complaining. From here we go. What do we got? Alright, before we do anything, it is in our best interest to buff their... Well, actually, no. Not in this instance, I don't think. Let's see. Yeah, there's Blakemore. Before we engage in anything, let's just gather what we can. Okay, let's grab this. This. Just quickly circle around. Okay, what else we got? We got these. Alright. Grab that. What else here? Very A rusted metal thing. Oh, we managed to get some interesting items. A charlatan's thing as well. Hold on. What are these? Price in descending order. The Binding of the Prince. 3 times per day, the wearer may throw this amulet at an enemy. If the target fails the DC 24 reflex saving throw, it becomes ensnared by the chain. Ensnared creature takes a -4 penalty to dexterity, -2 penalty to both AC and attack, and takes 1d6 plus 5 bludgeoning damage each round. Additionally, each time the wearer takes damage, the chain inflicts half as much damage on the ensnared creature. Okay, that's pretty nasty. That's actually really nasty, especially if we give it to Samuel, because he's such a heavy hitter. Also, I guess technically that falls into Sundowner's category as well, because he's a pretty nasty damage dealer. I think I'd give it to Samuel, though, because he's going to benefit more from that. Price in descending order, naturally. Let's see what else we got. We got 2 other things, if I'm not mistaken. I guess it's the Robe of False Death. Here we go. Immunity to critical hits, but suffer a -6 to Constitution. Jeez. Okay. And what was the last one? It was... Yeah, we got the Charlatan Locket. We managed to get the Robe of False Death and the Binding of the Prince. This locket makes all 0-level arcane spells cast by the wearer become empowered, extended, reach, and maximized. I'm sorry, what? That is insane. That is actually a good Compson ability or item, I do believe. That's insane, actually. Hold on. Alright, Compson. How would you like to be in the possession of the Charlatan Locket instead of the Profane bonuses? You know what? Let's do it. I like the idea of using that. We will suffer from the negatives of the Amulet of Dying Wisdom. Well, we won't be able to use it, I don't think, but that's fine. We could actually probably give it to Monsoon. No, he needs his dexterity, so never mind. Who would use it? Definitely not Samuel. Definitely not Steven. Okay, so I think it's one of those things that has ended its usefulness. Belt of Perfect Components. First and second level spells cast by its wielder are empowered and extended. Interesting. Oh wait, hold on. Makes all 0-level arcane spells. Okay, so I specifically have to use arcane spells instead of divine. Okay, in that case, I do believe it is literally Acid Splash or anything like that. Okay, interesting. Good to know, though. Good to know. Well, it's a big buffer, so I'm not going to complain. Alright, let's do a quick save. Just to make sure we're resolving this properly. Let's go. Good day to you. A large and broad man turns to you, trying to smooth his thick, tousled hair. His deep voice could have belonged to a giant.
Hey, who are you?
I'm someone you better treat with more respect.
So someone important has come to visit good old Blakemore? Well, I shall be a most gracious host. How can I help you?
What are you doing here?
This humble dwelling is my workshop. It's where I create my masterpiece, the Seinschmieder Grimoire, a calligraphic work of art. The client who ordered this is my good friend Captain Martin. Oh, he must be getting so impatient by now. I'm so far behind schedule. I just want the grimoire to be perfect, you see?
Alright, I'd like to learn more about you.
Where should I start? I am Blakemore the Wizard. I've seen many things and been to many places. From northern realm of Mammoth Lords to hot Katapesh, and even more exotic places such as the First World.
Have you ever been to the First World?
I got into the First World by chance, but in spite of that, it was easier for me to find a job there. I was soon substitute rector as a rather remarkable academy, which was located on the back of an elephant with 3 eyes and numerous tusks. Actually, the elephant had served as the former rector before he caught a rare elephantine disease. I moved on once he recovered. Seeking new purpose, I wound up at the Sin Market, where I made a bargain and came away with a fair amount of dangerous curiosity. On top of that, a sack of tobacco, generously mixed with dirty thoughts. 4 to 1. A horrible mixture to smoke, but my purchase didn't make me happy. My purchases didn't make me happy. Soon after, my curiosity together with a swarm of my good friends, the squirrels, helped me discover that one of the eldest, the Lantern King, was playing a dirty trick on another elder, Shyla, by assuming her form and visiting her.
Oh. Interesting.
Chronomistress Shyla always carefully avoided meeting herself, and she's been jumping all over the timeline, like the water strider along the surface of a pond, because the Lantern King was assuming her form to trick her. As after I revealed the game, I earned his unwanted attention. And it was time I left the First World for good. As a gesture of thanks, Shyla opened a portal for me, but after I stepped in it, I saw that Shyla's appearance had changed, and in her place stood the Lantern King. It was not Golarion on the other side of the portal, but far more dangerous place.
How did you wind up in Katapesh?
I wound up in Katapesh by pure chance. I was planning to sail further, but seasickness had overtaken me. Katapesh is an amazing place, but I had little chance to enjoy it. In the heat of the argument, my then sweetheart decided to teach me a lesson, so she drugged me and sold me to a traveling nightmare circus. There I earned my keep as a sword swallower, and the crowd was just crazy about me. And it wasn't such a hard job to learn. Though it made things a bit more complicated that I had to use real combat swords. I traveled with the circus until I got a chance to escape. A well-known captain, the Hurricane King, came to see one of our performances. He accused me of being a fake and challenged me to swallow his magnificent rapier, a weapon he cherished more than life itself. As the audience applauded, I performed the trick. It ended with my spectacular disappearance in a cloud of smoke. When the Retrobo came to his senses and hurried to find me and his cherished rapier, I'd already sold it to an unscrupulous vendor and was heading north to flee his revenge. That's why I try to stay away from the southern lands. This man's a living danger to everybody. What did you do in the north then? While taking part in the expedition, quite contrary to my intentions, I found myself hunted by some barbarians. While trying to escape, I climbed up into the mountains, so high that the barbarians had to abandon their quarry to the mercy of icy winds and avalanches. So I plodded across the highlands until I spotted a little light in the darkness. It turned out to be a tavern, where a celebration was underway. The Highlanders weren't too happy to welcome an intruder, but they agreed to give me shelter if I beat them in a challenge. I noticed a sturdy fellow with a simple face, wrapped in a cloak, so I picked him to be my rival. The competition, gluttony. The savage snatched my backpack, turned it inside out, and started to cram all my equipment into his mouth. In a short movement, the greedy Highlander had swallowed all my stuff to the backpack too, and gobbled down my axe for dessert. The barbarians were already making bets how long I would last out in the cold. Then I tore the mammoth's skull from the wall, broke its tusk, and rushed the huge barrel of beer that comprised the entire wall. I kicked out the cork,
put the tusk under the rushing stream of beer, filled up like a drinking horn, and started a gulp. My memories of the next hours are hazy. I vaguely remember the Highlanders being extremely angry with me for drinking all their beer. I remember how they started to turn into great beasts, and my rival became a wolf with blazing eyes. He charged me, but I caught him by the ears, shoved the mammoth tusk in his mouth like a bit, and tied my mustache to both ends to form reins. Enraged, the wolf rushed out into the night with me firmly planted on his back. We ran through the blizzard, and the vile dog whined in anger and humiliation. In the morning, he stopped running and fell, exhausted. I look around and realize that there was not a single snowflake around. In the wild race, we crossed the borders of Galarian and entered an amazing place, the ancestor of all other worlds. I took pity on the wolf and let him go. He ran away at once. As for me, many adventures and exploits still lay ahead. How did you meet Captain Martin, then? The prestigious gave me transport after one encounter. One time when I woke up in the middle of the night and went to look for the head, I think they call it. So I went down to the bilge and suddenly came face to face with 11 banshees, screaming ghosts. They were preparing to devour my soul when I stopped them and offered them to indulge them with conversation prior to the bloodbath. You won't believe it, but they proved to be a most pleasant characters to converse with. Once all of them were elven virgins captured and enslaved by an evil slave-trading necromancer. The necromancer eventually perished, but the tormented souls of his tortured captives were bound to the ship's figurehead. Later, the prestigious took this figurehead as a trophy. I felt pity for the banshees and decided to help them. I called upon one of the numerous sailors' deities of death, and amid the storm he brought, I performed a sad song, written by myself, hoping to touch his dead heart. And it's worth noting that none of the snoring pirates even woke up. The weeping deity set the banshees free, and they all turned into glowing ghostly maidens. To this day, they sing in a world-famous choir, taking the guise as simple mortals. Why do you stay here, then? Are you hiding from someone? Only from my numerous fans. My enemies are terrified of me. Even the mighty devils. Once, thanks to a certain vile entity, I ended up in hell. Took the wrong portal. Long story short, I found myself in hell. And it was open season for my head. The devil Sirochet was chasing me, and all I had to fight her off was a sack of low-quality tobacco, the flute of 100 sea winds, a deaf-mute kobold servant, and the sulfur which laid in such abundance all around. But that's more than enough to trick some clueless devils. When Sirochet came to me, I used my gloomiest voice to recite a spell in language I only just invented. On my signal, the kobold ignited the tobacco, the whole sack of it, and clouds of stinky smoke filled the air. I pretended to go into a fit. That was the second sign. The kobold started to play his flute. Have you ever heard of a deaf-mute kobold playing a flute? The winds have truly gone wild. The final hurricane is descending, the end of all times. And the squirrels, my loyal friends, the squirrels started screeching in different voices from their hiding places behind the rocks. The overall effect was terrifying, I must admit. As for me, I spun a bit of magic to make the clouds of smoke look like the Devil Lord. With a booming voice, the illusory figure praised me for my efforts and gave me another task, to create a grimoire, which would act as a gateway for devils into my world. Then the winds subsided, and the smoke cleared out. After that, Sirochet didn't dare to lay a finger on me, fearing my master's revenge. Devils are extremely stupid, after all. Alright. I am in need of a wise advisor. Would you like to work for me? I've been an advisor once already, and I don't want to do it again. I once served as the Merfolk Kings. I once served one of the Merfolk Kings. My service went on quite successfully until I got into an affair with the princess, the king's daughter. Though her virtue was guarded day and night, and anyone who dared approach
stood under a threat of execution, my feelings overtook me, and we managed to run away together. But on the third day, they caught up with us, the whole merfolk army. My death was imminent, but of course I had a brilliant solution in my hand. After the merfolk soldiers captured us, I entertained myself with card tricks. The merfolk were mesmerized by my talents and demanded that I teach them, so I suggested a wager. We'd play cards. If I lost, I had to teach them my card tricks before they executed me. But for the next 3 days, I couldn't lose. I won all of their money, armor, weapons, their dolphin mounts, their funny bone things they like to put on their ears, and even their flute of 100 sea winds, which used to belong to their general. After 3 days, I'd become quite rich. Then the general ordered his fighters to execute me with their bare hands, but just at that moment, my princess arrived. All this time, she'd been looking for a way for us to escape, and she finally found something. It was a pirate ship. We climbed aboard, I blew the flute of the 100 winds, and our sails nearly burst, taking us away. Unfortunately, things didn't seem to work out between me and the princess. She turned out to be quite unpleasant company. But she discovered some new talents, and now she is a successful circus fortune teller. Ah, the story intertwines with itself. Perhaps it's time you finished the grimoire. Blakemore stares at the scattered pages with ill-concealed yearning. The book is almost finished. It's a phenomenal piece of work. All it needs is a couple of alterations. Everything must be perfect. Blakemore's voice trembles. But if you could come back in a week, the book should be ready by then. I have almost no doubt about it. Maybe I could help you finish the book. The light of hope flashes in Blakemore's eyes. An excellent idea. Let us try. After many hours, you and Blakemore stare at your creation. The grimoire. Finished. Perfect. Ah. Hello.
So you finally completed your work, Blakemore. Unfortunately, you'll never have the chance to collect the ward for your master.
Oh, will you now?
The grimoire that will open this world's gates to devils. It must belong to me. Give me the book and perhaps I'll spare your life.
Did you leave the door unlocked?
No, I spent too much time writing it. Get out, Sir Rocket. Help me, my furious squirrels.
Oh.
Their life ends here.
Alright, let's see. Combat, let's see. What do we got for knowledge checks? Do we know the stats on these guys? Not really. Alright, let's start by activating Stephen Armstrong AC. Let us boost up. I guess we go with the Binding of the Prince on Sir Rocket. So Downer will buff you up. Compson will start summoning Undead to compensate for our lack of minions currently. And off we go. Alright, Stephen Armstrong's AC is buffed. Let's boost up Dexterity next. Alright. We'll focus on the Aryan Devil now. And there we go. All cleaned up. Even though we're not completely buffed up. That'll have to do. Oh. Even more. Okay. We're going to need Heroic Invocation at this point. Yep, Heroic Invocation. We'll focus on Mistral here. There we go. That'll give everybody a +4 to attacks. Good. Ah, fire.
Unfortunately for them, that's not going to be enough to take me out. Good thing our group is rather powerful. Oh, and Stephen Armstrong's into the fray. Jeez. Okay, Blade Barrier. Any creature passing through the wall takes 1d6 points of fire damage. Yeah, it's fine. Let us focus on fire resist, I guess? There we go. Fire resistance will help. Because we're dealing with hellish damage, I guess. Alright, let us heal, Sundowner. Because he's gonna need the HP, I guess. There we go. Alright, that's Sundowner dealt with. And I think we're done.
I'm there.
Okay. Well then. Let's grab everything we can. Blakemore Rip, I guess. What else? We got some stuff here. Well, I guess that's that. Interesting. Alright, price in descending order. What is that book, actually, now that I'm thinking about it? Our wolf ended up dying, unfortunately, so that sucks. Loot here. What's this? Wait, hold on. Did we get it? I don't know. Did we? Let's see. It's not reveal my destiny. It's scrolling down. Errands. Bring Blakemore's grimoire to Captain Martin. Or incite a riot. One of the two. Alright, we need a date from newest to oldest. Alright, I guess we technically got the book now. But this book can summon devils? Sounds like a summoning book. Interesting. Alright, it's a shame that our wolf had to go, but that's fine. We'll just live with our consequences here. As for how things go beyond that, it's hard to say, but, you know, we do what we can. Alright. I still want to know if that book is any use to us, if at all possible. I assume it's a powerful artifact, all things considering. Hard to say. Hard to say. Oh well. Alright, to Pitax we go. Let us go down the path here. We'll go the right side here. Makes it more convenient for us, and we'll go to Pitax. There we go. I do believe we need to go to the port for this, and then we can clean up shop and get ready to go. But it's good to know that Shyke the Many actually has a negative rep with somebody. Or at least the Lantern King, who seems to be the cause of all this mischief. I might be able to talk with Shyke to convince him to help.
First Mate Weller looks at you with the mix of hope and despair in his eyes.
Greetings, Your Highness. Have you had the chance to consider my request? Alright. I'm not sure how this is gonna go. I think we'll fail the mission if we do this wrong, but yeah. Let's just do this mutiny, I guess.
Ah, it's you again. What is the purpose of your visit?
Would you like to see the world as a crew member aboard our humble vessel? Can I be of any use to you? I'm gonna have to find a way to convince the crew then. Hold on. I don't know how to convince the crew though. Alright, the impatient pirates of Pitax. Okay, 1 second. Let's see. Alright. Let's see. Alright, let's see. A weaker version of Blakemore's grimoire. Alright. Blakemore's grimoire monastic deva. Okay, if you give this version of book to Captain Martin, then it will be dropped by... Wait, it's dropped by Irvedi. What? Okay, that's odd. Interesting. Can I keep it, though? Giving the book. Oh, that's if I give the book. Okay. Okay, other ways to deal with pirates. All those options will fail the quest. Okay. If you give the grimoire to Captain Martin right away, you'll get the black salt as a reward. It is just another weapon. A finesse-wielding weapon, it seems. 2 damage to a random ability on hit. It cannot reduce any ability score below 7. Oh my good Gideon, that's actually powerful. What else is there? If you tell him you have the book but won't give it to him, you'll be okay. Let's see. Other ways to deal with the pirates. All those options will fail the quest. You have to pass 3 series of checks if you can back off at any moment. It will make the pirates go away, but you get +5 economy relations and espionage. If you don't want to finish the quest this way, you can still pass your checks, then back away to get some extra experience. Well, what are we gonna do with this Blakemore monastic diva? Let me check. Let's see. This spell summons a monastic deva. It appears where you designate the axe according to its initiative results. Okay, so it's nothing too fantastic. We'll just get the black salt. I think the black salt is overall better, so... Alright. Wait, how... Did I not get the grimoire? Hold on, hold on. Let's go to Blakemore's hideout. Is he not in here? I thought he was. What the hell happened during that time and this time? Eh?
Alright, is he not in here? Or did he die? Is he the corpse? Surely not. Alright, hold on. Load. I think he's... do I have to reload? Nuts. Okay, I guess we're loading to the beginning of Blakemore's hideout again. Okay, I think it's because he died, Blakemore. Or at the very least he got... Yeah, no, he got killed, didn't he? So if Blakemore gets killed, then he's basically buggered, isn't he? Alright, I guess we're doing this again. Let's resolve loose ends and exploration again. I guess we're going to talk to him immediately. It'll save us some trouble. Let's see. We're going to need hour buff specifically. Or hour long buffs. That way we can buff Blakemore and everybody. Alright, let's give Mage Armor. Mage Armor. We got 10 minutes level, which is not going to be enough. We need hour-long levels. Let's see. Hour... No. Oh, Magic Fang Greater is an hour level. We'll give that to the Wolf and Senator Armstrong. Let's see. Anything else? Nope. Nothing else really fits the bill.
No mistakes.
Alright, let's do a quick save, and let's quickly speed through the dialogue and help Blakemore. Alright, let's just finish it, and let's do it. Let's go for the kill. Alright, we focus on him first, and then we go for the others. Alright, they're trying to focus down Blakemore, but they won't stand a chance. Alright. Now let's take these guys out. Sooner the better. Yeah, we want to avoid Blakemore's death, so the less he has to worry about, the better. We'll get the heroic invocation going. Well, actually, no. Let's do Swift Tactician along with that. Okay. Blakemore's suffering significantly. Alright, let's go Mistral. Alright, that's Blakemore now. Okay, good. He's now, he's buffing like crazy. Good. Alright, now Blakemore is near immortal. Perfect. That'll save us some trouble. Alright, now we're successful. We just need to make sure he gets his buffs off, basically. Alright, now it's time for Mistral. We need to give everybody the resist fire buff. Off we go. Alright, there we go. And we'll do the rest like so, naturally. And let's slaughter literally everything here. 235 damage, nice. Alright, cool. Hey, he's not even doing a dang thing.
That's annoying. Well then. Alright, well, Blakemore. You didn't do a thing. Good for you.
That was unexpected, but we managed. That was Sir Rocket, by the way, the same devil I met in hell. Did you see that face? That was one tough lady. Thank you for your help. Please give this grimoire to Captain Martin.
Yeah, sure. I'll be sure to do that. Why would he give him a monastic deva, though, in particular? Interesting. Okay, grab that, grab that. Isn't monastic devas like good aligned creatures? They shouldn't they be? Interesting. Yeah, I keep forgetting that I can't rotate the camera like I can in Wrath of the Righteous. I think that's one of the things they improved upon in the next game. They allowed you to turn the camera, which is nice. With this, it's a bit annoying just not being able to turn the camera to your leisure. It just sucks. Alright, but that's it. I guess we go to Samuel. We'll give him the specialty item, the Binding of Prince. And I do believe the armor was next, which was what? Price and Sending Order. Robe of False Death was nice, but not needed. And we did get the Grimoire, which summons a monastic deva. It attacks your opponents to the best of their ability. Yeah, so we'll just give the Grimoire over. It's fine. It's not like we're going to use it, after all. And while I would love to use it, Irovetti's already dead, so... yeah. Kind of wrapped myself into that. Oh well. Alright, now we go back to Pitax. And then we can move on with the quest line. Let's let the pirates know about the mutiny as well, for in the near future, or immediate future anyways. Why not? It'll be more profitable for us that way. We are not obligated to, we certainly aren't obligated to stop the captain from executing a mutiny. And I certainly don't want to make a very powerful wizard angry. Alright, I have the Grimoire, take it.
Ah, finally. I simply don't know how much to thank you. Please accept this weapon as token of my gratitude. Of my 12 blades, this one by far is the best, and my most cherished. Now it is time for us to meet new adventures. First mate, all hands on deck. Sir, you saved the prestigious. Now we can finally embark. Weller looks as happy as... looks at the happy Martin and whispers. And I beg you, please forget about my ridiculous request regarding our captain. That was the voice of despair. Yeah, sure. Well, as long as it's done and over with, I'm not complaining. We got a nice weapon out of it, and it's clear the man was really tired. All's well that ends well, I'd say. Better a live crew than a dead one. As for the weapon, price in descending order naturally. Black Salt. This +5 Vicious Rapier deals 2 damage to a random ability on hit. It can't reduce any ability score below 7 though. If I were to use this, it would basically act as more ability damage to the opponent, which only adds an additional 2 damage to every single attack. But that 2 attack damage does matter.
Now, the question is, do I give it to Monsoon or not? Because he could get away with it, I think, honestly. It won't deal as much damage as, say, the Cold Blood Kukri or the Fiery Blood Kukri, but it would debuff to High Hell. I'm going to say no for now. We don't need to debuff any more than we already have. And with that, we are golden, I think? Yeah, there's nothing that I can think of. Alright, let's leave. Let us exit and go. And with that, we are basically good to go, and we just gotta wait for a few more days. So, in preparation for that, we are actually gonna go to the Giggling Hill, I'm thinking. We'll start with the Giggling Hill and go from there. So we go down this path. I guess we can go down the bottom path because I want to check out what's going on here. We'll go up to Giggling Hill. Do we need anything else? Tail of Skirple. +1 additional damage on sneak attack damage die. Nice. Cool. Not that we need it, of course. Okay. Before we set off into here, I'm going to get some quick heals off before we do anything. Let's see. Let's start with our lowest class of healing, light potions. There we go. Do we have light healing scrolls? I would assume we don't. Alright, next stage. Second level spells. Do we have any Cure Moderates in our possession? I would assume so. We've got Cure Serious, but not Cure Moderates. Okay, so we'll use the Potions of Cure Moderate instead, because we have tons of those. We'll just down a bunch of them. There we go. Let's heal up Monsoon as well while we're at it. There we go. Alright, for this we're going to have to buff up, in particular, because we are going to be dealing with some danger.
I stand ready.
Alright, Mage Armor. How's the Wolf looking? Wolf doesn't have Mage Armor, so we'll give that to him then. There we go. Wolf. Shield. Barkskin. I've already given Barkskin to Steven. Sounds good. Alright, let's give Samuel, Sundowner, and Mistral Barkskin. Featherstep Mass, Magic Fang Greater for our big companions. Animal Growth for the Wolf. Aspect of the Wolf, do we need it? Not really, no. Let's just empty those for now, because we will need to decide what spells we're going to be using after all, in some point. Break Enchantment will remove, Innovation will remove, Invisible will keep. Okay. Let's organize our spells just a smidgen. Alright, here's a Heroism Greater we've got, so we'll put Chain Lightning here. We've got Dispel Magic, we've got Icy Prison, we'll put that there. And Phantasmal Web is an obvious go-to for control, so go from there. As for combat spells, we are going to abstain until we get Heroism Greater on everybody. And we do have 6 castings of it, exceptionally, so that's nice. Okay. Alright, activate on the Wolf. And I guess Monsoon. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5... I guess Mistral doesn't have it, so that's a rip. There we go. Alright, and with that, I can now use Shield, I think? Alright, let's activate Bless. Blur. I feel like something's missing, but I'm not sure. Ah, well. From here. There we go, that's 2. Heroism. Heroism. Do we need heroism for anything? Nope, because we have greater heroism. That'll do for now. I guess we'll throw down the protection from arrows communal as well.
We should move.
There we go. Wait, did I not get selected for protection from...
I'm there.
Something weird's going on, whatever. Alright, Mistral, let's get with you. Alright, Bless. Shield of Faith. Alright, come on. Thompson overcomes the spell resistance of Sundowner. Wait, Sundowner has spell resistance? Hold on. Ah! Lesser Ring of Ultimate Protection. I find that so annoying. Why are you why do you need resistance rebuffs?
Now what?
So annoying. Oh well. Alright, Shield of Faith. Let's keep going. Alright, and I guess Mistral gets the last buff there, and remove fear. Alright, aid. I'm judging heavily on the whole depiction of aid and all that jazz. We want Monsoon specifically up. Nope, Monsoon, not Thompson. Find Traps. See Invisibility Communal. Delay Poison Communal. Acid. Cold, Electricity, and Fire. Okay, I guess there. Okay. Acid. Cold. Electricity. Fire. Sonic. And one casting of True Sight. There we go. We don't need anything else beyond that. Okay, let's move. We will have to address the issue of the sight, but that will be a worry for later. Rather, I'm more focused on everybody's self-preservation at this rate. Ah! We are now in a location where we need to do this puzzle again, so 1 second. I believe it was called the Carrion Queen in the journal. Or whatever it was called. It was the last quest on the list. The Ravenous Queen. Okay, we are currently in... we're in the Flintlock Grasslands? No, we're currently at... We're at the Pitax Riverbend, I think? No. Giggling Hill? Yep, the Giggling Hill. We need to go for the bottommost one. Alright, so in here, we press the bottom here. There we go.
I do what I must.
And that will be something we address later on. For now, though, let's just explore the rest of whatever's here. If there is anything, there's only a dead body, so we'll just grab that and go. Got a piece of Sty Metal, though, so that's nice. And let's move on. Alright.
Entertainment!
Alright, the wolf takes the brunt here. We will have Mistral activate Swift Tactician. While the wolf gets harassed, that is. There we go. The buffer will help block the wolf from any further harm. And we'll just take as much as we can from these doggy red-cap tricksters. The more the better, after all. And I'm certainly not complaining if we take as much of these guys out. Oh, wait, hold on. Ah, yes. Thundering Claw of the Bear God. And an Amulet of Agile Fist +4. Nice. Price in descending order. I do believe the... yes. The one-handed scimitar, Thundering Claw of the Bear God, is a +4 shock thundering scimitar. Any creature struck by a critical hit from the scimitar or its wielder's natural attack becomes the target of lightning, as per the Call Lightning Storm spell. 5d6 damage with a 24 DC reflex save for half. Let's see. All natural attacks from both the wielder of the scimitar and the wielder's animal companion have concussive and shocking modifiers applied to them. If the wielder is wild shaped into a bear, or if their animal companion is a bear, the sonic and electrical damage from their attacks are increased to d10s. So if you have a bear, or you're wild-shaped into a bear, the bonuses of the Thundering Claw of the Bear God become better. This is a good item if you want to really focus into something, but otherwise it is not a build for us that we've set up. We just kind of wing it. But that's besides the point. We've basically done what we could. We've managed to clear out this area, which is the goal, and we managed to get some items. And because we cleared out that area, that is actually a very important task that we've done.
I'm there.
And it will help us with another quest of ours. But I digress. We got even bigger fish to fry at some point, so gotta think about that. Now, we've got a few choices. We can either go back or we can keep going. I'm going to keep going because there is something very in particular that I want to focus on. Okay, well, I guess not. I guess I'm going very back. Nope, we're going to make our way back into the forest. Alright, we're fatigued now, which does suck, but that's fine. But we do have bigger fish to fry in this forest. We've got very big fish to fry. Let's avoid the enemies, and let's keep going. Evade. And let's start with the Weeping Grove. See what's going on here. Let's get a rest in while we have it. We're running low on rations, so I might actually change our character setup. So I'm going to have... We're going to have Monsoon handle hunting for now. Who's the best at... We'll get Sundowner on cooking for now. And we'll have Mistral focus on perception. As for the cheese crostata, we won't be able to cook it as successfully, so we're going to avoid wasting ingredients in favor of going with the Galwargo, which is much more likely to succeed. So we need the rations, so that's why I'm doing this. But yeah, 6 rations, camp camouflage successful, cooking is done, and we're good to go. Nice. Okay, from here, we go into the Weeping Grove, and let us do this. We've got bigger fish to kill. And a lot more foes to deal with, but I digress. That is going to be just something we do naturally. Before we move on, I'm going to do a quick save to see how difficult the issue is. Because I don't want to actually just... I don't want to actually waste buffs if I have to. I want to try and clear out this with as minimal buffs lost as possible. Ah! I see. Interesting. Tree that weeps. Unfortunately for them, I'm a monster, at damage. Ah, hey. Electricity everywhere. Let us resolve that with resist electricity communal. There we go. That should help. Alright, let us heal Mistral. Give her a quick heal. There we go. Alright, Compson is getting rushed. We don't want that to happen, so run.
We can do it!
Alright. Off they go to try and take us out, but electricity resistance be OP in its own right. Alright. Any more? No. Good. Alright, we've managed to do so. We've managed to clear this area out. We did have to sacrifice some healing, but I'd say that's a, it's better than using all our spells, at least. Alright, let's use another You're Serious. There we go. That'll do. We can use potions for the rest, if we want to.
In due time.
For now, though, let's clean up the area, see what else we got. And we got some items here. Black Dragon Breastplate. Interesting. Armor. Black Dragon Breastplate. Medium armor. Acid resistance 30. Enchantment plus 5. It can be used by druids. So it's a actually decent item for Compson, and because it's something that can be wielded by druids, I think that's an AC buff. No, it's not actually. Because, yeah, I keep forgetting that he has a monk AC bonus, and I should keep that in mind all the time. Ah, man. Ah, jeez. Wait until we get into the Wrath of the Righteous. I'm just thinking about the builds, oh god. It's going to be complex as hell. But at the very least, I should do something that works with the group, because, yeah. Well, whatever. It don't matter. Wisdom Drain, that's not good. Let's see, how much Wisdom Drain? Only 1. Yeah, we'll be fine. Alright, let's keep going. No need to sugarcoat it any more than we have. I don't think there's anything over there, so we just keep going this way. But I will check down this route. We'll avoid the enemies as much as we can. Alright, nothing here. Is there anything on this side? Nope, but we can keep going down the long path here. Let's go down this path here. I'll leave it alone. Let's keep going this way instead. Let's go up. Let's go back into the forest here a bit.
A rest is in order.
Alright, the Castle of Knives. Alright. Let's go to the Castle of Knives. It seems like the most interesting place. We will have to rest here, but that is fine. We got rations, we'll be fine. Alright. To the Castle of Knives, let's do this. Now, for the Castle of Knives, we are going to have to buff the High Hell. This is just inevitable. But there is very good reason why I'm doing this. You'll understand why soon enough. But every buff here matters, actually. Alright, Shield of Faith. Alright, let's do this. Alright, come on, Shield of Faith. Let's go. Alright, Mistral, remove fear. Aid. Samuel. Mistral herself. And Monsoon. Find traps.
See invisibility communal, delay poison communal. Alright, acid, cold, electricity, and fire. I won't be able to do it with Sonic, but that's fine. Acid, cold, electricity, fire, and let's go Sonic here. Stone Skin Communal. Alright, see invisibility communal. Or True Sight, I should say. Heroic Invocation for extra buff. Alright, and now we go to Compson, who will focus on the wolf, and then follow on the side characters. Alright. Mistral, Featherstep Mass, Magic Fang Greater on the wolf and Steven. Animal Growth on the wolf. Alright, let's get Mage Armor on the wolf. Let's activate shields. Blur. Okay. And that's the blur going. Alright, Monsoon and himself, Compson. Alright, protection from arrows communal. For the sake of it, let's just get the heroism going. Just so we have the buffers going. Alright, Monsoon and himself. And I guess we focus on Senator Armstrong being the focus. Alright. Sundowner, Mistral, Wolf, and finally Monsoon. Alright, it's time to save up. Let's deal with this area because it is paramount that we deal with it. The sooner the better, basically put. Okay. Deal with the Alpha Wargs. Starting off. Get the wolf going here. Mistral, what are you doing? Good tactician, there we go. I guess. Alright, let's obliterate these guys. The sooner the better. Alright, nice. That was pretty easy. Good. Grab these, skin, collect. What else we got? We've got... yeah, we got a random assortment of stuff. It's fine though. Okay, reorganize as a group, and let's keep going. We are... oh, poisonous flytrap. Let's deal with that first. Off we go. Haha. There we go, that's another. Alright. Nice try.
Check that out.
Oh, special rock. Ancient Elven Bead. Interesting. Okay. I do believe there's something here, so let's do a quick save. I'm not sure if it's good or bad, though. But I guess we'll see. Won't we? Oh. That is another thing. A Satyr Archer. And Kamalia the Phoenix. A satyr and a nymph are watching a dark-skinned elf, whose arms are dancing gracefully, making magical gestures in a sort of ritual. Noticing you, she stops her ceremonial dance and greets you with a light bow, respected and dignified. You are Senator Armstrong, warrior king, the first to bring peace back to the Stormlands. I sought a meeting with you, and fate has allowed our paths to cross. My name is Kamalia. Or Kamala. Who are you? Kamala the Phoenix from the Sermangan Order, a humble follower of the wise way of Teacher Avalo. The Sergaman Order is relatively unknown,
but you've heard stories. They are followers of good and order, whose teacher, Avolo, a native Jalmeri, preaches complete non-violence. Why were you looking for me? Mysterious and sinister events are happening in your lands. The border between the world grows thin, and someone's hand reaches through it, plotting in the depths of you and your subjects. My brothers and sisters of the Sergaman Order have come to help you stand firm against this unknown enemy. If you desire our help, and if you pass our trials, and prove you are worthy of it. What are you doing with these Fae? They were brought into this world unknowingly, and their mischievous temper could mean a lot of trouble for the local people. The border between the worlds here is thin and feeble, like the worn-out cloth of a monk's frock. I've charmed them to sit still for a while I prepare to send them home. Alright, tell me about your order. Teacher Avalo has founded our order to help people who walk the path of good, remain steadfast, and give those who've lost their way a place to come back to. 1 second. Random calls from Alterio, I swear. The backbone of our philosophy is non-violence. This doesn't mean we are helpless, but we believe there is a future when no one in our world will wish to take up weapons against their neighbor. What does this trial consist of? The heart of the way is practice, the ability to subdue anger, negotiate without threat, to quell a conflict before spark becomes a fire. I imagine a king must be familiar with such things. With your permission, I would like to test you here and now. Look at these Fae. I charmed them so they wouldn't interfere while I opened a portal into their native world. I will release them now. To pass the trial, you must convince the Fae to remain still, while I prepare to send them home. Try to do this without threatening them, and don't let them charm you. Alright, fine. I agree to undergo your trial. Fine, let us begin. Camilla lifts the spell from the Fae with a graceful gesture and starts casting a spell to send them home. The nymph and the satyr look at you mischievously. Some prank is obviously brewing in their heads. Tell me, who are you and what are you doing here? I am Marine and this is Caransis, and we are bored. Yes, frightfully bored. Everywhere else it's changing, frolicking like this and that. But here it's always the same all the time. The trees don't talk, the mountains don't fly, and you're such fools. Everything is so strange here. How do you live here at all? We've been sitting here for 100 million years. We're so bored. Let's go for a walk. We'll show you something wonderful. You'll love it. And you'll be rich. You mortals love treasures, right? There you go. There's plenty of treasures around here. But without us, you'll never find it your whole life. I'd rather hear about your adventures. Oh, we have such adventures. You have no idea. Beyond your wildest dreams. For instance, once we had manticore races. Another time, we met the Lantern King himself. He gave us a copper coin, half a pie, and a silk stocking. Oh, and one time, some hunter wandered into us. We danced with them, and we danced until we dropped. Oh, but then we got up, and for some reason they didn't. That is it. It is time for you to go home. No, we only just arrived. We aren't going anywhere. The satyr takes out pan flute and starts playing. You feel drowsy for a moment, but the spell's effect quickly clear. Realizing his spell didn't work, the satyr hides the flute. Alright, we should probably go. There's no place like home. Go. Safe travels. Interesting. Before we do the next trial, we are actually going to clear the area. Because I'd actually like to clear this area out before we do anything else, if I can help it. Alright, let's see. How's our journal looking? Let's see. Nope. Reveal my destiny. No. Secrets of Sanguinen. Sounds of 1,000 screams. We need to speak with him, but before we do that, we're actually going to take the time to actually explore this land. And it will play an important role because of doing this. Well, not completely, but it does matter. Besides, we'll get to see some interesting stuff along the way, I'm sure.
I'm there.
Let's see. Yep, as I figured.
You grave-rotted imbecile. You broke it.
Really, Nerdly Wish? You seek to aid those pathetic creatures?
Oh man. That's gonna be hard to deal with. Ah! They are, angry. Oh, hey!
The figure before you wears gray robes, yet the body beneath them flickers, changing age, gender, and race. One moment an ancient elven man, the next a young human woman, then a tattooed dwarf, and so on. They raise an eyebrow.
Well, did you get it for us? Get what for you? Oh, that's right. You don't know about that, do you? Honestly, we don't know how you people can handle only moving one way through time. But that's besides the point. We need you to retrieve the first crown for us. What is the first crown? A magical bauble. The enchanted crown of the first king whose kingdom Nyrissa destroyed. She gave it to the Nerdly Witch as a token of her regard. But now the wriggling man is the nymph's current favorite. He feels it rightfully belongs to him. They've been fighting over it for weeks. Alright, where can I find it? It's in the course of their fighting. The Nerdly Witch and the wriggling man accidentally broke the crown into 3 pieces. The magical backlash teleporting each piece somewhere within this forest. If we knew exactly where, we wouldn't need you to search for them, would we? Okay, what's in it for me? You're after the self-styled nymph queen, yes? While we won't punish her directly, Nyrissa's overreach annoys me. Bring us the crown, and we promise you an easier time overthrowing her. Why do you want it? A good rule for surviving the First World is to never ask a Fey Lord why. Honestly, most mortals are overjoyed just to get Divine Quest. Let's just say that the crown has the potential to make significant ripples in the timeline, and we'd like to guide them in a positive direction. We could get it ourselves, of course, but there are... politics. Sure, why not? Excellent. We'll be here when you return. This isn't the first time we've met, but I'm still curious. Who are you? Our name is Shyla, though some call us the Many. We are of the eldest, the Fey gods of the First World. We embody that which you think of as time, entropy, and reincarnation. Why does your face shift like that? My, you're the bold one, aren't you? Our form changes because there are many Shylas, and there will be many more. Long ago, we decided to live separated rather than sequentially, so that we could each experience all of eternity. It's far more interesting that way. What does the eldest want from me? What does every god want, child? Quick and obedient service, with a minimum of annoying questions. You mortals often leave something to be desired in that respect, but I hope you will prove us wrong. Does Nyrissa know that you're here? No. And we trust that when we say you'll find it, it's better for all involved if you keep it that way. A pleasure to meet you. We assure you, the pleasure is ours. Who are those two, anyways? The Nurtly Witch and the Wriggling Man are Nyrissa's chief advisors. The Witch is a priestess of the Hag Goddess, twisting plants to her whim. The Wriggling Man was a mortal wizard who sought on death as a swarm of grave worms. They're Nyrissa's most powerful allies, and they are absolutely despite each other. Recently, they've been battling over the first crown. Why do they hate each other? A creature like Nyrissa has no true friends, but she rewards her allies well. Both the Nurtly Witch and the Wriggling Man seek to be her right hand, ruling over her so-called kingdom by her side. Neither of them are the sharing sort. Did you see he's made of worms? It's amazing the lengths you mortals will go to avoid death. Honestly, the whole mortality business seems like a hassle. We're glad the First World doesn't bother. What's the first crown? A magical bauble. The enchanted crown of the first king whose kingdom Nyrissa destroyed. She gave it to the Nurtly Witch as a token of her regard. But now that the Wriggling Man is the nymph's current favorite, he feels it rightfully belongs to him. They've been fighting over it for weeks. Alright. Well, I've already done that. Alright, I think we're done here. We'll meet again. Or rather, we already have. Alright, I need to do a quick Google search on the first crown so we can optimize finding each piece. But I do believe one piece is over here, but I'm going to quick Google search just to be sure. Alright, let's see. Alright, one fragment can be acquired from the treants in the southeast. Another from Faldrox the Huntsman near the tower. Alright. And we'll have to type two. Okay, last fragment's near the Castle of Knives, but only after you've talked with Salim. Okay. So we just have to move forward, it seems. Is the fight over? I hope so. They're still going at it, huh? At least I think they are. I'm not sure. Well, at the very least it's gods against gods, so probably not the best to intervene in their fights and whimsy. It's a dangerous thing to do. Alright, let's get Sundown back. We don't want him to get engaged in there. Here we go. Ah, perfect. The damage is coming in clutch. The pain for them. Oh, nice. Managed to get all of them quite easily. Certainly not complaining.
Their life ends here.
Ah, Mandragora swarms. Not fun. Okay. Have we got any spells? I guess we got Blaze Storm. Let's do that. There you go. Okay, kinda wish I could do more, but I can't, so... Alright, let's get the wolf back. There we go.
Stephen Armstrong is currently suffering the most strength damage, so we need to cure him. Alright, price in descending order. Potions. Do we have anything for... We don't have potions for it, but we do have heal. Alright, info on heal. Let's see. Does it cure ability damage? It does not. Wait, hold on. It restores permanently drained ability scores as well. Oh, no, it does not remove. Okay. Wait, what about temporary then? Hard to say. Okay, Alright, Mistral, do you have anything to help here? No. Alright, if we can get oh wait, if we use an AoE here, that should work. Ah! Yeah, that's a big load. Rip. Great. Ah, nuts. That's annoying. Can't have people dying. We're getting basically near the end game. Okay. Oh, so we're back here. Great. Alright, let's just speed through this. Alright, diplomacy. Alright, there we go. Now we can keep going. Alright, let's quickly speed through. And let's deal with this whole fight thing that's going on again. And off we go. Alright, let us avoid this, naturally. Alright, it's at this point we back off. Let them fight it out a bit. And we'll just view it from a distance. This is the crazy chaos we have to deal with. Not necessarily, but it's not fun. Magic. Okay. All right. All right, enough about that for now. I think we're done here. Okay. Now for this, we're gonna have to save just to be safe, because we don't want to go through that again, do we? I'd rather not do it anyways. Okay, and our issue is somewhere over here, so we gotta prepare for that. But before that, we've got to deal with the assailants over here. Throw Stephen Armstrong in the middle. There we go. Alright, Stephen Armstrong's been focused. Good. That's exactly what we wanted. And because of how much buffed we are, or how buffed we are, I should say, it's quite easy to take him out. Good. Alright, now we're going to have to be extremely careful here. Let's do a quick save, because that strength damage is no joke. I don't exactly want to be... I don't want exactly it to be a common thing.
Okay. Slowly make our way down. Alright, that's the Mandragora Swarm. Alright, Chain Lightning sounds like the way to go.
My skills are absolute.
In addition to that, I should probably set up a Blade Barrier.
No, don't care.
Following that, I should probably get the focused cast for Monsoon to go through.
I am superior!
Alright, that is a lot of swarms. Okay. Okay. That's the Mandragora Swarms done. Alright, I guess we go with Icy Prison on the Immense Mandragora. Or, no, we actually use... Forget any of our compatriots, so I guess that is the go-to here. Who is being targeted? Steven? How are you... Oh my god, okay. You know what? No, let's load. I've got a better idea.
Let's summon a bunch of undead to take the brunt for us. How about that? That's a little bit better.
Because at least with undead, they're not going to suffer strength ability damage. At least I don't think. I'd rather that than anything else, more than anything.
Due time. I tire of waiting.
Okay. Actually summon some undead. And I'll hand the brunt here. Alright, let's summon some undead here. There we go. We will summon lightning next. We shall focus on the Mandragora Swarms to start with. Alright, the swarms, they're moving into position. We want to back off for now. Okay, they're targeting everybody now. Ah, they're really going ham. Okay. Alright, with that, we can now throw down the AoE here.
This will hurt!
Okay. AoE is coming in. Come on. There we go. Alright, we summon some more undead. Ah, strength damage, like crazy. Okay. Senator Armstrong is suffering a lot of strength damage now. Alright, let's have him back off now. Alright, Samuel is suffering quite a bit, but that's fine. Take out this swarm now. Come on. There we go. Good. Now the swarms, the most dangerous thing, are gone. And we can move on. Good. Tree Crest Comb. Interesting. Seems we're picking up trinkets every now and again. Nice. Before we go any further, we need to cure that strength damage. Price in descending order, naturally. Alright, we've got Scrolls of Cleanse, which are not going to help ability damage. We've got Restoration, which will cure the ability damage fully. So let's do that. We're going to need one for the wolf, but that's fine. Alright. Restoration. Restoration. And I guess Compson as well. Oh no, for Compson we didn't actually replace anything. Okay, hold on. I do believe we wanted to replace... Yep, we wanted to get the Charlatan's Locket instead. And because we don't want to go through that again, let's just do a quick save. And we'll leave the wolf alone, I think. The wolf has currently got 4 ability damage. Okay, let's get Mistral on that. We can just get her some scrolls of lesser restoration for this. Okay, lesser restoration. Yep, we got plenty. Okay, let's cast on the wolf, and let's hope a 4 is fine. Oh, nope, it's not. Lesser. Alright, come on. There we go.
Yes.
2 will do. There. Now we don't have to worry about it. Oh, a treant. Odd. Okay. Hello.
The forest here looks blasted apart by a meteorite, complete with fallen trees and a crater at its center. Surrounding the crater are several huge twisted trees. Suddenly, the trees turn to look at you, and a jagged maw opens in one of the trunks. With a voice like creaking wood, the treant says, "Who disturbs the prayers to our fallen friends? More of the wriggling man's obscene minions?"
Fallen friends? What happened here?
The wriggling man appears. That's what happened. The treant's words are slow and sad. In his attempts to steal the first crown from our mistress, he broke it. The magic blasted apart the grove. You stand among the corpses of our beloved trees. We must pray for the healing of this place and return this hateful crown to its rightful owner, the Nerdleak Witch.
Why does the Wriggling Man want to steal the crown?
Why does the wriggling man do anything? Besides, he's a vile, disgusting creature who seeks to rob our mistress of her place at Nyrissa's, Nymph Queen's side. He is the rot in the wood, a weed to be pulled, the larvae that devour a forest. The Nerdleak Witch will cure 1,000 breaths of his sickness.
If you hate the crown so much, let me take it to the witch.
The treant ponders this for several moments. At last he says, "That is wise. You could take the crown to the Nerdleak Witch for us, while we comfort the grieving forest."
That is true. I'll handle it, don't worry. And I got the first crown fragment because of it. Nice. Without even fighting. I'd say that's a plus. Alright, there's nothing here besides, you know, all that. What else is there? There's Shyla the Many, there's skeleton soldiers, and it's fine. Anything else around here? There appears to be spiders. Or at least there was.
Over there!
Ah. A keen falchion, +5. Nice.
I do what I
Hold
must.
on. A keen falchion is actually a pretty good weapon, last I recall. It's a pretty basic weapon, of course, but for a basic weapon, +5 keen isn't bad. Yeah, it brings it to a 15 to 20 crit range. Jeez, that's pain. Pain for them, or us, well, for enemies if they come across it, but it's fine. Alright, but that's one battle done. We now have 2 more pieces of fragments to look forward to. Let's hope we can find them. Alright, we move on. Let us do a quick... Well, hold on. Can we go up here? Or can we not? I think we can. I guess we'll do a quick save, just to be sure. Because you never know, this area is really dangerous, last I recall. Although, considering how well we've been managing, I don't think we have much to worry about, to be honest. At least I'm not worried about it anyways. Okay, let's organize and let's go. Ah. Here we are. What's this? A chest we can't see to access. Let's do athletics. Ah, a chest here. Ah, a trap. Good thing we have fire resist. And we got a +5 change shirt because of it. Nice. It appears that something chaotic is going down there. Interesting. Let's go to the gate. Let's explore. Alright, let's do this. What else we got? We've got random assortments of oddities around here. Ah! The purple worms. Good day. Let's do a quick save, because it seems like that satyr is quite important. For some reason. Hello, Faldrox. In the clearing ahead, a satyr curses and hacks angrily at a stone pillar, trying to chip free a piece of the crown embedded incongruously into its surface. Around him, massive purple worms roll and breach the churned earth. He turns in your direction. What? What do you... Who are you? No, wait, I don't care. Just get lost. What are you doing? None of your business. Now get moving before I stick my worms on you. The Nurtly Witch says she needs you. I'll handle it from here. The satyr looks at you incredulously. That skinbag thinks she can order me around. Tell your hag mistress that Faldrox the Huntsman bows to no one but the written man. Worms, attack them. Well, we tried. Alright, let's get Stephen Armstrong on that. Back to them. There we go. Ah, rip his plan. Okay. Alright, Compson. Summon spell. There we go. Aha, nice try. Well, we tried, but we failed, it seems. Unfortunate, but that's just par for the course. Oh well. Okay. We take out this one. There we go. Done. Nice. And with that, we've basically cleared that out. We've got some interesting items here. There appears to be something here. Ah! Another crown fragment. Nice. That makes 2 of 2. I do believe. Which is good. Means we're doing pretty dang well, all things considering. Alright, let's see if there's anything else. Oh, wait, hold on. What was that? I heard the ding sound. Unless I'm being blind. I'm fairly certain I heard the ding. It should depict something in particular, like finding something special. Nope, nope, nothing. Okay, rip. Ah! Hello, worm. There is definitely a secret there, though. Our Wilf is currently suffering from slowness, which does suck, but that's fine. Thankfully, Senator Armstrong's really good at combat, so... Alright, grab that. Ah. Let's back off. Get organized just a smidgen.
You should have run!
Alright, there we go. Stephen Armstrong is now the focus. And the rest will start coming into the fray as Stephen becomes the little guy. But it's fine. We can just take them all at once. It's not that hard. These worms are actually pretty easy now. Especially considering they're not swallowing us whole. So that's good.
In due time.
Do a quick save, just to be sure that we're fine. And off we go. What else we got here? We've got other shenanigans, nothing too special though. Alright. Ah! Poisonous hydras. Lovely. Good thing for our AC, otherwise this would be a lot harder. Ah, breath weapons. Poisonous clouds. Nothing they can actually nothing they can actually beat us in. Because resist poison is OP. Or at least delay poison is OP. At least in my opinion. Okay, what's in the corner here? Anything? Not really. Okay. Do another quick save just to be safe. Let's keep going. Ah, hello. Just ahead, a man in dark robes of a Pharasman priest battles an enormous spiked beast. While he's holding his own with magic and a sword with melted-looking hilt, a snarling beast has him cornered. Suddenly, he catches sight of you. You there, help me with this thing. Who are you? My name is Salim. You'll excuse me if we forgo formal introductions until I'm not fighting for my life. Yeah, sure. I guess we're involved now. Alright. Oh, well, that was easy. Like, exceptionally so. Yeesh. Oh well. The robe man nods gratefully at you. Thank you for your help. If Shyla hadn't sent you, I'd been in real trouble. Of course, if Shyla hadn't sent me after this super shard, I wouldn't have been fighting over this overgrown lizard in the first place. Who are you? Salim Galifar, a servant of Pharasma, so to speak. I owe Shyla a favor, so I agreed to help them locate the first crown. Though it appears the crown is far more than I was originally told. I suppose I shouldn't be surprised. Shyla is as shifty as the damned death goddess. Did you just curse your own goddess? I used to hunt priests back in Radam. You know the atheist nation. I was an officer in the Pure Legion. Then I made some bad decisions and ended up an indentured servant of the Lady of Graves. Let's just say the situation hasn't been easy for either of us. Killing priests sound like a blast. I never killed anyone if I could help it. I was a soldier with a duty to protect our nation from sorceries and terrorists. And from people like you. How do you know Shyla? The eldest helped me with a job in Octavia once. It's a long story. You a priest? More of a detective, really. An inquisitor. I tracked down missing souls for Pharasma, the Lady of Graves. And it looks like I just found another one. You're looking for lost souls. You should probably visit the village in the Nara Marshes. Thank you for the advice. I'll be sure to visit. What do you mean another one? That is the crown of an ancient elven king named Leoriel, ruler of the First Kingdom Nyrissa destroyed. But it's not just his crown. His soul has been tied to it. His ghost forced to serve its owner. While it's broken, he He's trapped in there, unable to manifest. But no wonder Nyrissa's cronies want it so bad. Or Shyla, for that matter. Alright, well, give me the crown fragment. Straight to the point, aren't you? Well, go on, take it. The Dan Lorne swallowed it before I could grab it. I told Shyla I'd track it down, but I won't fight you for it. Especially after you saved my beard. If Shyla didn't send... if Shyla sent you, why didn't they tell me about it? Who knows why Shyla does anything? Perhaps they thought they already told you. For a god of time, they find it surprisingly difficult to keep straight what has or hasn't happened yet. Alright, let's get going. Safe travels. Though I suspect we'll meet again. That's how things work when Shyla's involved. No kidding. Well, at least we got the Lenorm thing, and we did get the crown.
Listen, you can talk all you want about proper precautions, and things best left unknown and blah blah blah. But when someone gives you disassembled pieces of magical artifact, I don't care who you are, you put that baby together. As the last piece of the first crown slotted into place, the whole thing started glowing with a green light and humming. And that's when things got weird. Before we knew what was happening, we were somewhere else. An indistinct nowhere with misty walls glowing in that same green. Before us floated an elven man, all dressed up like some sort of king. Except that he wasn't a normal king. Because last time I checked, elves weren't see-through, and their skin didn't give off wisps of glowing smoke. He stared at us with his blank ghost eyes and said, "You're neither witch nor worm. Who are you?" So we told him the truth. The Ghost King nodded. "My name is Leoriel, once called Leoriel the Wise. You're inside what was my pride and now my prison. What you call the first crown." He gives an ugly smile. Behind him, a door manifests into fog. He gestures to it. "Don't worry. Unlike me, I suspect you can leave whenever you like. Time is strange here. I don't know how many millennia have passed in your world since Nyrissa destroyed my kingdom of Rushwood. Only that all my memory of it has been lost. With you younger races building your nations atop its ashes. My people are long dead and scattered. Only I remain, trapped in this half-life, denied my proper rest, and forced to carry out petty tasks. Whichever abomination bears my crown. All thanks to the Nymph Queen." He looks at us expectantly, so we asked more about his kingdom. The ghost's smile looked pained. Behind him, the fog swirled, forming the image of a beautiful forest city. Gods, my kingdom. It was a thing of beauty, a forest that wove the trees into its very walls. But now it's gone, destroyed by Nyrissa, and swallowed up by the time in the forest. He laughs bitterly. "I believe you know my realm as part of your so-called stolen lands. How appropriate. Yet even your oldest books have forgotten me. And while while away a millennia here, bound by Nyrissa as a bauble for her servants to squabble over." So then we asked him about Nyrissa and his imprisonment. "Nyrissa!" The ghost snarled, and if we didn't already know he was a ghost, then we would have his face contorting in ways that we would have broken a real half-elf skull. Behind him, the fog swirled, forming an image of a beautiful elven city. He jabbed a finger at it. "Look! See my kingdom! See what she's destroyed! All of it! Gone! And why? Just to add one more grain of dust to the Nymph Queen's chalice?" He shrieked, a sound full of madness and sorrow that seemed to stab through our ears and into our brains. "And now she binds me here, as a bauble to her servants, to squabble over."
asked him what the chalice was. The ghost shook his head.
I don't know. Only that every time she's destroyed a kingdom, a new grain of dust falls into her cup. Mine was the first, but there have been so many since.
Alright, how do we best fight Nyrissa and her minions? The ghost laughed bitterly.
Fight Nyrissa? Child, if I knew how to kill a nymph queen, would I still be trapped in this godforsaken crown? I can't take any direct action against her, even as the command of my bearer.
He paused, thoughtful.
Though I suppose her minions see my crown as a mark of station. The Nertly witch and the wriggling man fight over incessantly. To see it in someone else's hands might fluster them, cause them to make a mistake at a crucial moment.
There's another pause, longer this time. At last, in a softer voice, the ghost said,
Or, once you've left this place, you could command me to destroy this crown and set myself free.
That made all of us pause. We looked at each other, silently weighing our options, and then... asked him what he would do if we set him free.
Why, I'd go on to my just rewards, I suppose. Be judged by Pharasma and join my people in the afterlife.
The ghost tried to look innocent, but unfortunately for him, we knew better. Innocent or not, he was a ghost. Spending a few thousand years stewing in your own rage scrambles your brains. There was no telling what he'd do if we set him free. So we told him we needed to think about it and got out of there. Yeah, we'll think about it, my crown boy. Let's see. The first crown. The crown grants the wearer the ability to summon 2 elven warrior spirits for 10 minutes per day.
Follow if
Nice.
you dare.
This is a small buff. Can't be mad. Ah, ghostly guards. Not good. Not fun. Ah, even more. Oh, so more. They're trying to corrupting touch. Like a mess. Like a mess. Oh dear. That is a lot. Oh dear, that is a lot. Like, a lot.
This should do it. A calculated risk.
Okay, there we go. Boom. That deals with 1. They're trying to break free from our grasp, but unfortunately for them, we are just too powerful. Alright, Sundowners provoking a bit too many. We'll back off. There we go. Alright, perfect. That works for me. All of them are basically done. Oh! An Onko! Fun. Just when we thought things were getting worse. Alright, take out the Onko. Nope. More Onkos, not fun. Alright, great. Great. Even more. Focus on the Onko here.
Let's try.
There we go. Oh, baleful polymorph. Great. Ah, I had a feeling that was going to happen. Okay, Samuel,
Weapons,
you've been
spells,
polymorphed.
Poisons. The art
Oh,
of killing is so
and
diverse
Sundowner's
these
dead.
days.
Great.
A shame one life is not enough to master them all.
Okay, I guess we're gonna reload. It's annoying, but we've got to do it. That's just how it be. Alright, let's just speed through. Hello. Alright, we're taking this guy down. Senator Armstrong, we want you to move over here. There you go. Now we don't have to worry about him. Alright, now we can speed through the conversations. I did a neutral good thing. Whoops. Whatever. Alright.
Alright, from there, we just wait for... Oh, no, we got get this fragment, so skin collect. There we go. Alright. Okay. And we'll think about it. Alright, now we're back at this position. We can now talk with Shyla, and we should be good. Alright, let's see. Weapons, we're fine. Alright, we should be good to go. Okay. Let's hope this is enough. Alright, we want Senator Armstrong to take the brunt, so we'll send him in first. Everybody else follows suit. There we go. I will get Senator Armstrong here instead, so that way he's more focused. There we go. Alright, now they're really focusing him. We'll down a vial here. There we go. More AC for us. There we go. Alright, Compson, we want you on summon duty, so that way the monsters coming for us are not going to worry about, or not going to concern us too heavily. There we go. Alright, there we are. Nice. Ah, Onkos. Lovely. Oh, another Onko. We'll deal with you now. And of course, we have the last one here. Take you out specifically, because you're the summoner. And now for the last one here. Or is it this one? I guess this one. No, that's a summon. So we go for you. And there we go. That wasn't too bad. We just had to be brutally efficient with our actions. As a result, though, we've cleared out most of the Onkos, which would have been a very problematic issue. Did I discover something? I think I discovered something. I'm not sure what. Interesting. I guess I discovered something along here.
Interesting.
Ah, here we go. Another ancient elven bead. Interesting.
Time to stretch
Ah,
This
spiders.
will hurt.
Lovely. We'll start with the quick slider swarms. Go from there. Just have them attack as we can. Boom. Done. That 200 damage is just nasty, jeez. I love it though. I love it. Alright, is there any perception check needed for this? Oh, Finger of Death, lovely. Okay, so I failed that. That's fine. We did get the Champion of Graves though, which should be the endgame weapon, or at least one of the few endgame weapons. Alright, a Bardiche, a reach weapon. This +5 Bardiche deals an additional 3d6 negative energy damage. Nice. It is not so different from the Holy Glaive, but I'm not going to be wielding it. Not me anyways, but I digress. We should be fine all the same. We got high ACs, we'll be fine. Well, high ACs, high blocks, we're basically built to last, for the most part. Alright, now that we've saved up, there appears to be more around here, so let's check it out. There appears to be a mobility check going in. There's also this. Doesn't lead to anything though, which, unfortunate, is not a concern, or too heavy a concern. Alright, mobility.
I'm managing.
Ah! Even more spirits. Of the ghostly variety, I should say. Yep, they are trying but failing heavily. Alright, time for the ghostly guards to go. Alright, anything with this?
It's done.
We did get the Greater Empowered Metamagic Wand. Or Rod, rather. Nice. With that, we can now go over to this building, I believe. And I think we can actually talk with Shyla the Many now. Because oh, wait, hold on. Did our wolf not come along? Hey, buddy. Wait, why are you not following? Come on. Alright, we're basically done. We just need to go back to Shyla. We'll just let them run on their merry way. I guess I could just have Steven run. Yeah, Senator Armstrong will just bolt, I think. Yeah, no, he's bolting. Slowly but surely. Off he goes. He is the fastest of the group, technically. And technically I can make it just a smidgen faster. I guess, let's see, where is it? It is... We don't... I guess we have haste, so I guess that's the closest thing. It's fine. We don't need to use haste just yet. Okay. Now then. Let's see. Got Steven here. Alright, Shyla. And Salam Godfar. Okay, I guess that's the guy that we saved, so yeah. Okay. Do a quick save. There we go. You look up to find Shyla waiting for you at the edge of the trees, arms crossed. Salim stands near the eldest, his arms crossed. He nods to you but says nothing. Well, did you get it for us? Did you know that there's a ghost tied to it? Did I know about the ghost? Shyla smiles. Child, why do you think I wanted it? I'm far too old to be excited about fancy hats. Now, are you going to give this to me or not? Let's talk price. What's it worth to you? It's always money with you mortals, isn't it? Measuring your tiny lives in shiny pebbles. Besides, I already told you. Give me the crown will aid you in your quest against Nyrissa. But if you must have a physical ward, so be it. The eldest reaches into his sleeve and pulls out a bulging sack, showing it to you before stashing it away. This is yours in exchange for the crown. Now, do we have a deal? Alright, here you go. As Shyla reaches for the crown, Salim steps forward and raises a hand between you. Before you do this, I think you should consider that the ghost tied to this crown is a mortal soul, trapped and kept from its rightful afterlife. An agent of Pharasma, goddess of death. I could take the crown to her realm and ensure that the ghost is put rest safely, as he deserves. At Shyla's shocked expression, he laughs. Don't look surprised. I told you I'd help you locate it, and I did. But putting souls to rest is still my job. So, what do you want to do? Here, Salim. Have your goddess put Lithoriel to rest. Salim accepts the crown with both hands, bowing slightly. Thank you. I'll see that this soul is laid to rest properly. And I'll put a good word for you with the goddess's psychopomps. It may be that they can grant you some favor in your battles to come. He reaches up, pulls a spiral-marked amulet from the neck of his robe, and promptly disappears. Surprisingly, Shyla laughs and turns with a radiant smile on you. We knew you'd make the right choice. God of the future, remember? Everything's going according to plan. Now, if you'll excuse me, we're late for an appointment. Or was that early? With a thoughtful expression, the eldest winks out of existence.
Now, you guys may be wondering why I'm giving the crown away when Senator Armstrong would normally keep such a thing. This is to do with the ending, and I've said before that specific endings require specific actions to be done.
Do what I must.
In this instance, I think helping out the people in this circumstance is probably for the best. But that is besides the point. We've essentially done that, but before we actually talk with that man, there is one more thing I'd like to do. Alright, let's see. Here we go, a mobility check.
Interesting.
Ah, a trap. Nice try. Such an easy trap won't stop me. Although, if this is trapped... Yep, nope, never mind. Okay, Ancient Elven Beads. I might have to talk with the storyteller to see what these Ancient Elven Beads mean. But hey, I'm not complaining. Let's see. We've managed to find 3. Not sure what they'll do for us, but they'll do something, I'm sure. Whether it's good or bad, we'll have to see. But I digress. Kamala, the Phoenix. Before we do, let's do a quick save. In preparation, of course. Alright.
Congratulations, you've passed my first trial. Your will is strong, and it cannot be broken by spells, or by the most frightful enemy, the bloodthirsty beast that lurks inside each of us. I invite you to meet the other masters of the Order and pass their trials. Don't be afraid of failure, no one in this world is perfect, but we must make sure that those we help are worthy. Set off to the Temple of Elk. Brother Vizaska, the unicorn, is awaiting you there for your next trial.
Alright, what about your order?
Unlike many monastic orders, we do not teach martial arts. The secrets we share are meant for sowing peace and accord, not destruction. You will learn more from my brothers and sisters when you find them.
Kamala the Phoenix, that doesn't sound elven.
When I passed all the trials and joined the Order, the teacher gave me a new name in the language of his homeland.
As is his way. Kamala means lotus, a flower that grows from swamp mud, but glows with immaculate whiteness.
It is a symbol that speaks for itself.
As for Phoenix, that's something like a title.
It refers to those who have burnt away their primitive instincts and revived pure forces of will from their ashes. Before I walked the wise way, I did much harm and many stupid things, for I was controlled by the animal inside me. Now that it has no power over me, I follow the path of law and goodness shown by the teacher.
It is naive to believe that a ruler of such savage lands could be a pacifist. We do not ask that you take the same vow of non-violence that we have. There's much evil in the world. And alas, in this age of fire and steel, he who puts down his weapon often becomes food for monsters. Still, we try to help those who do lesser harm. None of us will live to see a peaceful Galarian, but we all do our parts to make it possible. In other words, you people are just hypocrites who prefer someone else to do all the dirty work for you. We're not so naive to hope that our preaching could instantly transform the whole world. We find those whose goals are similar to ours and aid them in their good deeds. Where's the hypocrisy in that? What do you know about the power behind the portals, then? We will share our knowledge with you when you prove you are worthy of our help. Alright, let's do that trial then, I suppose. Not a fan I have to do these, but it's kind of needed. Alright, now we have to pass the trial of the unicorn, it seems, and we need to go to the Temple of the Elk to accomplish it. But otherwise, we are done here, so we shouldn't need to worry too much about what we have to do next. That said, we have quite the objectives ahead of us. But with that, we've completed this area temporarily. We will be coming back here in a time, but we will have to be proactive in our efforts, to put it lightly. And with that, the Castle of Knives goes on. We move up here. And I guess we're going to go to the mountains, actually, before we go anywhere in particular. Ethuliarch's Lair. We're going to this. Alright. Before we well, do we enter without buffs? No, we need to enter with buffs, so we're going to get the rest in with the Galrago. And let's begin. We got our supplies back. Camp camouflage successful. We managed to make the Galrago. And this is probably going to be one of the few things I do beyond, but we'll have to see. We've got quite a bit ahead of us, regardless of what we do. No matter what, we're going to be doing quite a lot, so... just brace for a long period of just grind, grind, grind. Grind, 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 grind. But once we are done, we are done. And things are going to get spicy as a result. Alright, before we go in, we need to reach the end of this pathway here. And this is the cave we need to enter. Okay. Before we enter, we are buffing. There is a reason why I'm doing this. And it should be paramount, or it's going to be paramount that we buff. Otherwise, things are just going to get nasty. I say this not as a warning, but as a fact. I know what this place is, and it's not fun if you don't buff. Especially if you don't know what's in here. But, considering it's a lair of somebody, you can probably guess. Alright, start to get the aids going. Mistral. Samuel, Sundowner, and Monsoon. Find traps. Alright. That's poison. Alright, acid. Cold. Electricity. Fire. Acid. Alright, more. Fire and Sonic. Stone Skin. Alright, True Sight. Heroic Invocation. And from here we go with Samuel. Or no, not Samuel, Compson. Alright, let's get the bark skins going. Mistral and Sundowner. Feather Step. Magic Fangs going on. Animal Growth. Alright, Mage Armor. Shield. Nope. We need Shield, I said. Wolf already has Mage Armor on.
Time's not waiting.
Okay, now Thompson. Alright, now we go with Blur.
I can't cast it like that.
Okay, there we go. Just keep spamming it. There we go. And finally, there. Alright, protection. And let's start buffing everybody with the other buffs. We don't need to give it, yeah, we don't need to give out the other buff. I will give Monsoon the Hero's Ingrader here. And I will prepare everything like so. And we'll do a quick save, because this should be the last fight for today. But I don't know. We'll see. But this is going to be one of the bigger fights. Well, not necessarily as big, but I digress.
Trap no good. Mistress will scold us. Strangers, strangers, run!
There's something here.
Ah. Acid burns and a lot of issues. Let's go with stealth. Let's just quickly sneak and disable all these traps. We don't exactly want to be discovered by anybody, perchance.
In due time.
Okay, disarmed. Alright. It's been covered by acid burns. This should be a clue as to... Well... Yeah, you can see already. You can see the danger that we're about to face, so I'm just not going to sugarcoat it for you. This is going to be nasty. Alright, let's begin.
Run them through!
I'm always ready.
Alright. You must be either very bold or very stupid to come to the lair of Ulfrenak. It makes no difference which. The end is the same for both.
Alright, intimidate. For extra buffer. Alright, frightful presence going nuts. Absolutely bonkers. Alright, I guess while Comson is going like that, we're gonna summon Undead to be a good distraction here. Oh. Alright, we'll summon Undead here. Then we'll focus on Steven. And then focus on you next. Good. Ah, they're frightened. There we go. Now they can't directly cast against us. Alright. Let's activate Bane. So we get better chance to hit, which we don't. We'll be fine, I think. Yeah, we're doing really well. We can do the entangle though. He did succeed the reflex save. I'm not sure what this acid mist is, but it's probably bad. Ah, caustic eruption. Good thing we're acid resistant right now. And yeah, the rewards, as you can see, are pretty good. Ah, even more dangers rot here. Ah, disintegrate though. That's not fun. Thankfully we managed to beat them, so that's good. Now to clear out and deal with all the enemies.
A calculated risk.
Okay, let's just cleanse out the cave of mobs and go from there. They're already scared crazy, so that's good. Now let's just cleanse the area and we should be good. Almost done. There we go. No more mobs, and certainly no complaints from me. Body's covered with acid burns. Nice. Okay. Alright, this will be the last bits. Claim those. I guess we technically do have the spell magic.
This is my
so we can use that, I think. Let's see, it's a 6th level spell. Let's see, area. You can dispel magic to end one ongoing spell that has been cast on a creature or one area effect from a spell. Okay, 1 second. Alright, well, oh, I didn't need to cast it because it already faded. Good. That's actually good for me. That saves me trouble. Alright, we've got the dragon. We've got a belt of physical perfection +8. Ooh. Brace of armor +7. Collect all those. We got some fancy treasures to look forward to. We'll worry about those in a minute. We're just going to collect everything we feasibly can before we do. But the Belt of Physical Perfection +8. Oh dear. Oh dear lord, that's good. That's better than the +6, so we're gonna give the +8 to Steven. That's just even better for him. We'll give the +6 to Samuel, I'm thinking? Yeah, let's give the +6 to Samuel for now. We'll cure him with a scroll, I think. We can get restoration on him. Steven is the same. Restoration should be good. Well, I guess we can just use our lesser restorations. We got so many of them after all. And it's ability to damage, not ability to drain, so that's good. Alright, Dex is suffering. No, not that much. 14. That's not good. Let's give Sundowner a good wash with ability cleansing. There we go. Mistral is the same. Let's give her a good cleanse. And Monsoon wasn't in melee. Same for Compson, so they didn't suffer as much. But yeah, we get 1,000 BP just for collecting the treasure. It takes us 2 hours to claim, but that's fine. I think we can tolerate that. In addition, we got a few other things here. Just a few, oddities. And we got some armor. Alright, price in descending order. Okay, the Unstoppable Conda. +4 Bastard Sword, +4 Persuasion, DR5 Piercing, +8 on saving throws, DC 17 Fortitude, or be affected by poison for D6 rounds. Yeah, it's alright. Alright, Gentle Persuasion. Upon performing a good deed, this armor reduces the wearer's constitution by 2 each time for a minimum of 1. Only committing an evil act can provide relief, removing the constitution penalty and giving a 10 temporary HP instead. Unequipping the armor is only possible after casting a remove curse spell on the wielder and passing a DC 33 cast level check. Because... let's see. The wearer also gets a +6 enhancement bonus to dexterity, +10 competence bonus on stealth, and allows the wearer to cast Dominate Person once per day as a 17th level wizard. Well, it's a good thing that Sundowner doesn't need to make checks. Of course, he will be stuck with this item forever, but it would allow me to choose a different item for him for not only, well, what does Divine Favor do for me? Because I got that ability. Divine Favor. Oh, it's just a usability to get stronger. Well, let's see. The Belt of Physical Form will give me bonuses to Constitution and whatnot, but what else does it do, right? Bracers of Armor are definitely going on, though. That is, well, that's a +7, so not for Steven, but it's going to go for Compson. Compson has a +7 now. Belt of Perfect Components we'll leave alone. Let's see. Is there any other armor? Price in descending order. We've got Singing Steel. We've got Worm Wall. +5 Tower Shield grants +4 to saving throws against all the elements except Sonic. And +2 against huge or larger creatures. We don't have to worry about that, I don't think. Black Dragon Breastplate. Void Mirror. +3 Adamantine Breastplate grants +4 dodge bonus to AC against ray attacks. I mean, that's okay. It's not what we're going to use, but it's something. I don't think there's anything beyond that I'm interested in, last I recall. Gentle Persuasion, yeah, Wormwall, okay. So beyond that, it's just pretty much a small buffer. Nothing too crazy, but we'll organize things. That'll come in due time, but once we've finalized our build, we really have to focus. Because at that point, we're going to be reaching endgame levels of shenanigans. At which point, oh god, everything's off the table. Well, as long as we get there, we should be fine. Right. Let's move out here. We got... I think we can end it here, honestly. I think that's a good time to end. We managed to get a bunch of treasure. We managed to do a lot of stuff. I'm quite satisfied with the results, honestly. Of course, we're not done with a few other things, but hey, that's just part of exploring the whole map. We're not done by any means of the word, but we're slowly progressing to the point where we can be done. That is going to require a lot of exploration, though, so yeah, that's something we'll have to do in our own time. But I digress. I think I'm done here, so 1 second. Alright, I'm done. For those of you on YouTube, like, subscribe, comment, hit the bell notification if you want to see my stuff. I stream daily, so if you want to catch my streams, you can catch me 3 to 7 MST time. For those of you on YouTube, if you want to catch my streams, you can either search me up at FYPon in the Twitch link. Alternatively, you can check my channel out because there should be a link for my Twitch there. Or you can check my description down below and it should lead you to a link which you can just copy pasta into your browser. And you should be able to get to my page relatively quickly. For those of you on Twitch, or from those of you from YouTube coming from Twitch, follows are always appreciated. The more follows I have, the more content I can give you guys. If you see the bottom left corner, or the bottom left corner of my screen, there should be a follow button, or at least a follower tab. Once that hits 50, and I get 3 concurrent viewers, concurrent basically means viewers who stick around for my videos, I will be able to provide you more content because I can apply for affiliate status, which should allow me to give you guys more features, more content, and it'll allow you guys to support me in more ways. But yeah, if you want to find my older videos, you can check out my YouTube. For those of you on Twitch, well, for those of you on YouTube, you know where it is. For those of you on Twitch, though, if you scroll down a little bit, you should be able to find a YouTube button. You just click that link and it will take you all the way over to YouTube. Alternatively, you search me up at FYPon at youtube.com, or you can check out any of the videos that I've posted in the description. There should be a link to my YouTube channel from there. Hopefully I can get it to be a proper link, but I can only do so much. It's a very specific link, but I digress. I think that is it. If you can support me, all the better. If not, I'm just happy that you're enjoying the stream. So, if you guys like my stuff, you know, just let me know. I'm happy to oblige and talk. But I digress. I hope you guys enjoyed today's stream. I know I did. And I will see you guys next stream. Take care, everyone, and have a good day.